Hosted by Tenpins More right here in Rio Rancho. We appreciate Mike, Rob, and all of the staff here. The hard work there went into getting this tournament back on the schedule and running it. This tournament is presented by Brunswick. We appreciate the sponsorship from them to add to our prize fund. This tournament is broadcast on the Inside Bowling channel on YouTube. Please join, and you can go back and watch yourself bowl after it's archived today. Inside Bowling channel on YouTube for the broadcast. Standings all day will be on tournamentbowl.com. You can watch the standings live on your phone. You'll also have a link to the bracket action at the same time. We're going to move one pair right. After each game, the entire pair moves together. It is one lane courtesy. It is important that we keep the squads on time, so please adhere to that. I will be bringing score sheets out to the pairs. Please verify your USBC number on your recap. Add your hometown if you would, for us to be able to add that to our records. There is a place to record the bowling balls that you use on the recap sheets. Put the make, model, and the last four of the serial number. Once you do that, if you bowl again in qualifying or when you bowl in match play on Sunday, you do not have to continue to add those to those. I just need them recorded one time during the tournament. Please verify your scores, and there's a verification signature beside your own on your score sheets. Please do that for us at the end. Remember, the high qualifier on this squad is guaranteed a spot into Sunday's bracket. If you guys have any questions at all, come and let us know here at the table. There is a sheet that explains how we're doing the brackets on Sunday, what we need as far as entries to be able to floor 32. There's some formulas on there. It explains it very well, and it's probably best if you read it first and then ask questions. Before we get started with 10 minutes of practice, I'd like to introduce Mike Fagan, the proprietor here at Tenpins More, who'd like to talk to you for a few minutes.
Thank you, Dennis, and thank you, Mike Flanagan, for being here. We're really excited to keep the New Mexico Open going. We're in the 21st year of the event. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. We're looking forward to having a fantastic event. And stop by, say hello, and I look forward to meeting you all. And good luck and good bowling today. Thanks.
All right, bowlers, your lights are coming on. It's time for practice. And we are taking sign-ups for brackets up until the end of practice. So if you're feeling good about yourself, come on up and sign up for brackets at the check-in table.
And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into the 2025 New Mexico Open presented by Brunswick. 20th edition for the New Mexico Open. My first time being here. Very excited to be here. Our first broadcast on Inside Bowling in the great state of New Mexico. We're in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, just outside of Albuquerque, here at Tenpins More Bowling Center, which proprietor Mike Fagan is here. You may know him as the King of Swing from bowling on the PBA Tour, but has gone on to become a proprietor here. And shout out to Steve Mackey and the entire Mackey family that have ran this center for so many years and have done such a great job. Had a chance to talk to Steve a little bit yesterday, and man, what an iconic family and name in bowling, and to see this bowling center be now owned by Mike Fagan and continue along in the great history of great bowling families. Really happy to be here with you guys. My name is Mike Flanagan. I run InsideBowling.com, and this is our broadcast here. We've got a bunch of them for you this weekend. We've got A, B, C, D, E, F, and G qualifying squads. I counted that. That's 7 qualifying squads here at the New Mexico Open. We'll get into the specifics of the format and that here in just a little bit. But as this is our first stream of the day, as you guys know that have been following me for a long time, I got to get some scoreboards built. There is no lane talk here, but hopefully in the future, next year, we'll be able to get that lane talk going for you. So we'll have to build some of that out. We got a very challenging bowling pattern here today, everybody. Very, very challenging pattern. I anticipate the scoring pace is going to be some of the lowest you've ever seen. I'll pop it up real quick here. This is the lane pattern. This is the lane pattern. You can see it's 47 feet in length, 1.89 to 1 ratio. It is symmetric, 35 mils of oil. There are 7 2-2s total on this oil pattern. So there's some information on that for you. This is the Thursday 1 p.m. squad as we are on Mountain Time here in New Mexico. I will have all the players' names and everything brought over to me here shortly. The scores can be found at tournamentbowl.com. I'll get a link posted in the chat here sooner than later. Give us a little bit of time to get things up and running. But one really, really important thing that I want to touch on here today is this is a bit of groundbreaking for Inside Bowling. This is our first ever 4K, 60 frames per second broadcast that we've ever had. And we're really proud of that. It wouldn't be possible without my friends over at Sony. All the cameras you see here this weekend are brought to you by Sony. Shout out to them. If you're looking for some new gear, electronic gear, check out Sony. Certainly do appreciate them very much. Brunswick, our title sponsor of this event. We want to thank Brunswick. Mike's going to be having some brand new pin setters and scoring put in here after the tournament. And yes, they are string pins, folks. So next year when we come back, we'll be participating or showing this tournament on string pins. I want to thank Shamrock Foods for being a sponsor as well. Jani King, Western Bowling Proprietors Insurance. Shout out to Brian Wallachek and that group over there. Also, Tenpins More also stepping up to host the event here this year. And of course, over at Inside Bowling, it's us, Inside Bowling. You can save 15% on all apparel at InsideBowling.com over with coupon code YouTube on Inside Bowling. And for the tournament this week, and a celebration of our 4K stream, we are doing $19 t-shirts. The $19 t-shirts are good now through next Wednesday. So if you'd like to pick up some shirts, we've got all of the great brands, the Brunswick brands, of course. We've got Motive, we've got the Storm brands, SPI, along with many other really cool bowling t-shirt designs, along with hoodies, polos. You check it out over at InsideBowling.com. I'll also be joined here this weekend by my very good friend Jim Callahan. He's driving in right now, so if he's listening in, Jimmy, can't wait to see you come in and be part of our broadcast team all weekend. Jim brings a lot of knowledge to the airwaves, and I love working with them. So looking forward to having Jimmy Callahan here with me as well. Glad you're with us. Let us know where you're watching from, and it's really enjoyable to be able to bring you this broadcast, like I said, in 4K. Would love your feedback on what you think. It does take quite a pipe to be able to get this 4K feed out here. It takes 5 times as much as what we normally have going. So we'll see how the stream maintains its stream all weekend. So we may have to downgrade at some point, but right now, so far, excellent connection, it says here on YouTube. Looks like practice is just finishing up here. So I'm going to switch us over to our game 1 graphic.
This is your last call for brackets. Come on to the sign-up
It's a 6-game qualifier here, and one other big thing is whoever leads this squad automatically advances into the top 32 bracket. And that bracket may be consisting of 24, it could be 28, or it could be 32 based off of entries. If we have 89 or less unique bowlers, we're going to do a 24-man double elimination bracket. If we have 108 players, we will have a 28-man bracket. And if we get to 124 or more unique bowlers for this event, we will get to a 32-man bracket. So again, less than 89 or less, 24-man bracket. 108 or more, 28-man bracket. And if we get to 124 entries, it'll be a 32-man bracket coming up on Sunday. All right, let's take a look here. And yes, I will get my picture-in-pictures built as well. So just hang in there with me on that one. Let's see if I can get us all set up here with our scores. See what I can do here. Again, no lane talk this week, but we're making the most of it. I kind of like the old AMF AccuScores, to be honest. Brings back memories. This is the center that I grew up bowling in, had the AMF AccuScores. Let's see if I can get some scores up here for you. The scoreboard cameras are not in 4K. It's a little overkill. And you guys tell me, how's my first attempt here? Not awful, not awful. Let's see if I can dial it into here just a little bit more. Let's go with, let's see how that bottom left one looks here. All right, that's pretty good. Our top left, I should say. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. Let's go 74 here. That looks pretty good. Let's go over to the next one. And let's go 75 on that one and see what that looks like. And I probably can go 76 on that one. 76. Okay. There we go. Oh, maybe a little too much. Looks like we're going to be right in this zone here. 75, and boom. And then we're going to work on this one over here. All right, there we go. We've got it going on here. So lane 17 through 20. Looks like we've got that. And then let me add in our picture-in-picture here. It's going to be lanes 21 through 24. We're set up down here on the high end. 21 through 24 is what we call our deck link 1. A little audio edge here. Let's see how we come out here. And bada boom. There we go. You see down the right-hand side are all the winners, bottom right of your screen. I'll continue to dial in these scoreboards, everybody. I'll do the best I can. Let's see if that's a little bit better. See Chase Nadeau here. And I'll introduce all the players here in just a minute. Good morning to everybody here in the chat. We're going to watch it from Iowa, Indiana, Texas. Awesome. Great to have you here with us. All right, now it's time to go work on our other string pairs here. Let's see how we can do here. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Dennis Hacker is our tournament director here, USBC president, my good friend. It's great to have Dennis here representing Inside Bowling. We are the ones that are putting on the event here along with Tenpins More. So shout out to everybody here that's we've been working with. It was a pleasure meeting Rob, general manager, and the rest of the crew here. Got Dylan working in the food and beverage. He's food and beverage manager. Makes some great food. I've had back-to-back meals here. They got some hand-breaded chicken tenders now that they just added to their menu. Pretty outstanding. All right, let's move this up here. I'm working on your scoreboards, guys, for this other pair. Again, scoring pace is going to be extremely low. There's a lot of OB. There's a lot of oil on the lane, everybody. A lot of oil. I mean, a lot of oil. It goes long and strong. And there's no down to get the friction on because there is not any friction. Hardly at all on the lane. Just wants to go forever and ever. Amen. Right? Isn't that how the song goes, I think? All right, I'm almost ready. I'm almost comfortable, everybody. Let's see here, 1346 on that one. Once technical side's done, we can rock and roll. We can start talking about anything you want. Anything you want. 1346, I gotta remember that number. All right, 17 through 20. 1346, I said. 1346, I said. Top this down right here. Yep. I gotta remember to turn the audio off of that. All right, to those of you that have just tuned in for the first time ever, you're like, what's this guy talking about? It's just because I gotta talk out loud while I do this with you all. Okay, 17 through 20 in high definition. You look at the scoreboard here. Scoreboard always tells the story. Left pair, we've got 2 strikes so far. The right pair, we've got 5 strikes so far. Let's invert our stream and let's see how I did for all of you at home in 4K here. See how these other pairs look. And we got some scores happening over here too, which is pretty unreal. And here we go. We've got double 9 spare, spare strike, open, spare, spare. We've got a vacant bowler there. We've got 4 in a row. We've got open, double. We got double, open, a potential another open, spare, spare, open. And I'm going to put up the oil pattern for you. This is a really tough pattern, really, really tough. A lot of out of bounds. Look at Zweig playing right up the gutter, and it still didn't want to hook. I think the gutter's in play, but you got to have the right everything going on, and your ball speed's going to have to be so slow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm loving the gutter play. Loving the gutter play. All right, guys, let's see if I can make heads or tails out of my lane assignment sheet here. Okay, I have all the bowlers, but I don't have lane assignments. But I think I have it over here on tournamentbowl.com, which I will be getting you guys in just a moment here. Yes, I've got it right here. All right, guys, this is it. 21 and 22, 23 and 24. 21 and 22, we got Matt Zweig and Benjamin Heckroth, along with Luke Salazar. 23 and 24, Scott Wiley, Trent Irwin, and Lauren Yaramillo. Yeah, Lauren, let's get it going here. Awesome. And then bottom right of your screen, I've got lanes 17 through 20. On 17 and 18, we got Eric Wellman, Morgan Robinson, Alvin Thon, Andy Byer. And on 19 and 20, Chase Nadeau, Antonio Lopez, Steve Schultz, and Cristobal Quintana. Other players on this squad, down on 11 and 12, is Marcus Sanders and Aileen Linares, along with Joseph Lapointe and Edward Herrera. We've also got Kevin Wilson and Brian Schomber over on 13, and on 14 we got Brandon Brown and Jacob Gill. 15 and 16 we got Gabriel Gonzalez, Angelo Martinez, Bob Dillman, and Jeremy Park. So those are the players here this morning. According to my sheet, looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 entries on squad number 1. 27 entries so far. 27 unique entries into the tournament. And we got the front 5, folks. We've got the front 5, which I would not have bet on that. And let's see what this looks like, playing right up the outside. Kyle Duster. And I don't know if those lane assignments were right that I looked at on here, because Kyle Duster, I did not call his name off. Good shot. Nope, my lane assignments were right. I just only had 3 on 23 and 24, and Kyle Duster was unassigned according to the list that I have. He is on lanes 23 and 24 and has opened up. He's got the front 5. Did that fall after I left? I guess it did. Need to go take a look at this. Also, if you're watching this right now and you're not watching it in 4K, click the gear icon down at the bottom of the screen, and you can upgrade your viewing today to 4K at 60 frames per second. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate you. Yes, we are in 4K today, John. Make sure you click on that gear down at the bottom and switch that over to 4K. Switch that over to 4K. And as far as I know, this is the first ever bowling broadcast in the United States ever brought to you in 4K. And I need feedback on this. I need big time feedback from everybody. I'm actually going to log into YouTube right now on my phone, and I'm going to bring up our broadcast, and I'm going to go back in time here, because when I left, I thought Kyle Duster left a 7-pin because I got up really quick because I was confused about something, and I can rewind and go watch the shot over on my phone. Oh, that's not Kyle Duster. Excuse me. Kyle Duster. My bad. My bad. Kyle Duster. Yeah, okay. That is correct. Kyle's score is correct. Had it backwards. Okay. A lot of moving parts here. A lot of moving parts here. So that's Scott Wiley, actually, with the front 6. Welcome to New Mexico, Mike. Welcome. Thank you for having me. I talked about how hard these lanes are, how difficult the pattern is, and here's Scott Wiley just looking to just say, you know what? This ain't hard at all. Just like that, you can miss the head pin. Just like that. Nice run. Very impressive. Very impressive. Oh, hook. Oh, hook. Oh, hook. Oh, man. Jeez. Oh, boy. I love bowling. Who doesn't love bowling? All right, we head over here to 17 and 18, 19 and 20. I'm going to call 17 and 18 the Stranger Things pair. We got some older monitors here. Again, Fagan is upgrading everything in the facility. It just couldn't get done before this event. So those monitors on the upper left, we're just going to pretend like the Demogorgon is active on 17 and 18, and the Christmas lights are flashing. And shout out to Stranger Things with season 5 coming out here on Thanksgiving, and then again on Christmas, and then on New Year's. So that's the Stranger Things pair, 17 and 18. And I do have 11 standing by in case things get really weird and we need to do something over there on that pair. Could you imagine if you watch the show, you'll get this. If you don't, you're going to be like, what is he talking about? But imagine if 11 was a bowler. She bowled 300 every game. She'd just be able to just knock them down with her powers. Shout out to our man on lane 19 here, who's wearing an Inside Bowling polo shirt. It's got a hammer on there. We sell those on Inside Bowling. You save 15% with coupon code YouTube. Shout out. See if he picks the 210. If he picks the 210, everybody should go get one. It means you pick every split. Or actually, it's a 2810. It's even harder. If he picks the 2810, everybody should go get this shirt. Yeah, that's all right. I tried to do a little marketing effort there, and it didn't work. All right, we head back over here to where all the strikes are. Scott Wiley, he's the man. He's the man right now. Matt Zweig. PBA tour. He bowls on tour. He's had some flashes of greatness. Love it. There are some good bowlers in this field to be able to be striking this much and be able to be playing the lanes this well. Scott Wiley. Not to be confused with Bob Wiley from What About Bob? Scott is not related to Bob Wiley.
Maybe. Mike, you never know. Maybe. I don't
Maybe, yeah. Get that Ancestry.com going. All right, let's see here. What's going on here in the chat? Finish him times 200, Dusty. I agree. Is the stream going to have the televised matches too? We will be having the finals will all be taking place here. I want to welcome in all 411 viewers here on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. Once again, if you're just tuning in, you're watching the 2025 New Mexico Open 20th edition here at Tenpins More in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, a suburb of Albuquerque. This event's presented by Brunswick. If you're looking for a new bowling ball, bag, or shoes, or accessories, check out your friends over at Brunswick Bowling. Also, shout out to Brunswick. They're going to be installing new pin setters and new scoring here. Coming up here, I'm not sure when, but it's within the next 60 days. Again, also sponsors Shamrock Foods, Jani King, Western Bowling Proprietors Insurance, Tenpins More, and of course us here at Inside Bowling. We've got A, B, C, D, E, F, and G squads for you this weekend. And I've got a schedule, a schedule, as I like to call it, for Mad Zweig Bowls. There's our schedule. A, B, C, D. You see we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got 7 squads, elimination bracket at 8 a.m., and our Sunday championship final will be at 3. There were some changes to the tournament this year. This is my first year coming. A couple of changes this year with the re-entries is one of the things. Whoever leads this squad will automatically get into the bracket. Again, if you're just tuning in, if we have 89 or less unique bowlers, we will only have a 24-man bracket, which means the top 8 will get buys in the first round. And then if we have 108 unique bowlers, we're going to have a 28-man bracket, and there'll be some buys in that as well. It's a very unique bracket format. I'll explain it later if we end up getting there. Or if we get 124 unique bowlers, we'll have a 32-man bracket on Sunday. Just throwing that out there, letting everybody know. But 1 and 4 will still cash into the tournament. It's a bit of a European format that Fagan really liked with the re-entries and benefiting locals to be able to come out and bowl earlier in the event for a little cheaper prize fund, or entry fee, I should say. But you got Matt Zweig here, can bowl 265. You've got Kyle Duster, can bowl 258 and 257 for Scott Wiley. Also bowling was Zweig. I believe that is Benjamin Heckroth that has spare strike, spare open, spare four-bagger. So to those of you that may be bowling the event later, later in the week or haven't left from home yet, you can obviously see that right now the score is coming from the extreme outside part of the lane. Again, glad you're with us here watching the New Mexico Open here on Inside Bowling. I'll have Jim Callahan here with me the rest of the weekend as soon as he makes his drive in from Las Vegas, which will be today. We may see him on tonight's stream or may see him towards the end of this stream. I'm not sure, but I'm really looking forward to working with Jimmy this weekend. Of course, Mike Fagan, our proprietor here. Now that is the Mike Fagan that bowled on the PBA Tour. He's owned the center here for just a few weeks now. Still lives in Dallas, but commutes here, comes out every other week. They've been doing a lot of renovations and a lot of cleanup to the bowling center. Whenever you buy something, of course, you want to put your own changes to it. The Mackey family's done a great job over the years, but, you know, a little TLC here coming in with Mike, coming in with some of his ideas and a little bit of working capital. They got a new game room here, you know, and people say, oh, game room, what's that do for bowling? Well, what it does is it helps generate funds to include the improving the bowling center for the bowlers. And also really makes it a true family entertainment destination here in Rio Rancho. You see all the past champions down the wall on the right-hand side. Francois Lavoie has won the last 2 years. He is bowling again here this year. Cortez Schenk won before that. A lot of great names down the sidewall there. Andrew Kane, Vern Peterson, Chris Barnes, just to name a few of the names down that wall. Six games of qualifying for you. It's 1:40 in the afternoon here on this Thursday, August 14th. Want to give a shout out to Scott V in our super chat. Wants to know my thoughts on the urethane controversy. Wow. Wow. I'll tell you what, Scott, we're going to answer that question, but first we're going to finish watching this bowling right here for this game. When we get into game two, I'll answer your question, so make sure you stick around, Scott.
Hey, Rob. My ball got chewed up on 23. I think it got caught. There's a screw probably back there.
In order to chat in our room here, you do need to be subscribed to the channel. It's free to do so. We invite you to subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed already. We are really rolling up that number. You know, there's been a goal of wanting to get to 100,000 subs. You get a Google Play button. We've been doing this part-time over the years on our YouTube channel, and we're very proud of what we've built here. And we're very, very appreciative of everybody that's been part of this with us. We sit at 99,068 subscribers. How many subscribers can we get this weekend? Do we have new folks here? Is this a new audience? I do want to give a shout out as well to Emil Williams Jr., who has streamed this event the last few years, and Craig Elliott, who streamed it before that. It's an honor to be here. If you want to watch the 11thframe.com Open this weekend, Emil will be streaming that one with Joe Engelkiss and the guys up in Iowa. That's the 11thframe.com Open. Will be on Bullstream TV. Appreciate all that Emil has done here and what he'll be doing this weekend and the relationship that we have with Emil. I know there'll be folks that'll be tuning in that'll really miss Emil, but hopefully you'll welcome in me with open arms and give Inside Bowling a chance here. And many of you watch all the different networks, so we're all good there. So Zweig's been taking his time here a little bit. He's playing right up the two board, and that one just read a little early in the front part of the lane, in the front third of the lane. And you saw it hook, and then it just sat there, and that's the ultimate penalty. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10 for Zweig. .245 for Scott Wiley. That is a fantastic score for Scott.
just run it down, stash it. Sorry.
And Zweig gets one. There's a lot of oil out there. A lot of oil. When you go cross lane at spares and you watch people bowl here this weekend, you're going to see just what normally would, it just likes to go an extra board or two to the right when you're going left to right at spares. Something to keep an eye on for sure. And then when you're going right to left at spares, the ball back up sometimes. You might see people chopping the 4 off the 4-7, stuff like that. Duster can finish with 224. And it looks like Ben Hockruff playing up the boards as well. Trips out the 5. How about that? All that rev rate. Yet he's tripping out the 5-pin. A lot of oil here. 260, or excuse me, 238 his max score, right? 118, 148, 170. Yes, 238. I got to tell you, the scores on these couple pairs are really impressing me right now. 245, 223, 222, and a possible 238. Huh. Huh. These guys are pretty good. I'll tell you that right now as we see Ben finish out, we know what he can bowl, 238. I'm going to invert the scores. Let's check on the scores over here. 139. Got a possible 223 here. 231 up on the board. 149. We got 227, 162. Lane 19. Still getting in my flow here. That was Chase Nadeau with 227. And we got Cristobal Quintana looking for a little 214 start. I would take that. He doesn't care about anybody walking down the gutter. By the way, that's our man Rob, general manager here, came over to be the GM with Mike. So congrats to Rob for being part of the new adventure here, a new endeavor here at the 24-lane bowling center here called Tenpins More here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Guys, this is just about one game in the books, and we did it. We successfully did it, all of us. Round of applause for all of you for making it happen here. Game 1. Right here, cap it off. A little 223 action on the left side of the lane. We did it, everybody. We did it. Yep, thank you. I know. Appreciate it. Come on, you guys are too much. Seriously. You really are too much. All right, one more bow. Thank you very much. All right, thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much. Game 2 of 6 coming up next right here on Inside Bowling. I am going to, I'm still here, but I'm not going to say anything for a couple, and I'm still going to get to that urethane question, Scott. Don't forget, I will get there. I will get there, but I do want to look at this tournamentbowl.com, and I want to try to get you guys a standings link put in here. Looks like I got game 2 right here. Let me duplicate this and go to the scores. Standings. This is where I wanted to go. All right, I think I got this. I think this is going to do it. Let's see. I'm going to do it over here on this one. Tournamentbowl.com is the workflow, guys. Tournament results. New Mexico Open. Is that on upcoming? Let's see where he's got this year. Yep, it says upcoming. And oh, the standings link isn't live yet. Okay, we'll have it in just a second. All right, as we get ready to roll into this game here, 17 and 18, 19 and 20. We got some new players coming in. Let's take a look at who we have here. Let me see scores by lane. Game 2. All right, 17 and 18 should be Eric Wellman, Morgan Robinson, Alvin Thon, and Andy Byer. Lanes 19 and 20, we should have Chase Nadeau, Antonio Lopez, Steve Schultz, and Cristobal Quintana, which looks right. Morgan's the lefty that had 220 in the first game. Bottom right of your screen on 21 through 24, we got Matt Zweig, Benjamin Hockroth, Luke Salazar, Scott Wiley, Trent Irwin, and Lauren. No, that ain't right for game 2. They should not be down there for game 2. So what did we do? What happened on game 2? I'm working on it here. Let me see. Yeah, it hasn't switched over yet. Looks like everybody's moving a pair to the right. So let's just do this. We got Zweig and Hockroth along with Luke Salazar, bottom right of your screen. Then next door, you'll have Nadeau, Lopez, Schultz, and Quintana. Then next door to there, you'll have Wellman, Robinson, Thon, and Byer. And then you'll have Gabriel Gonzalez, Angelo Martinez, Bob Dillman, and Jeremy Parker, our new players over on the left side of your screen. I'll get in. I'll get figured out here. I'll get that ready to go. Don't you worry, guys. While we wait for some players to make their way over to lanes 19 and 20, I will go ahead and invert the stream, and then we're going to talk about urethane. Okay, the question in the chat was... what's my thoughts on the urethane controversy? Hey, Leia, great to have you in the chat. So this urethane thing, right? The first thing I always like to say is, you know, if we had social media when the Excalibur came out, the first reactive bowling ball, and guys showed up and put that in their hands, and all of a sudden guys that couldn't hook it could, I feel like that was a major, major breakthrough in bowling, right? Just a major, major breakthrough. And it made careers. I mean, it made careers in bowling. No offense to these players because they were great players, but you can't tell me that it didn't help Ernie Schlegel, Butch Soper, Dale Traber, Dave Traber, and so on. And if you read the article that John Jowdy put out in Bowling This Month many, many years ago, and I have a copy of it, he talks about how it really helped Duke, it really helped Walter, it really helped Parker Bone, the reactive resin bowling ball, with the way the lanes were being conditioned. Now, many of you can sit there and say those guys would have been good anyway, but many people forget, and I'm not trying to dog on Norm Duke here, but he only had one title with urethane. He had a several-year hiatus, but when reactive came out, he became a force. And he stopped hooking it. Norm was very versatile. He could hook the whole lane. He could play up the boards. Well, when resin came out, he primarily went up the boards and was very good at it, and an unbelievable bowler. And Norm deserves to be one of the greatest in the game ever. I'm not taking anything away from him. But we had reactive resin come out, and that was a big thing. And again, if then your social media was around, I think there would have been even more controversy about when those balls came out. Okay, so I say that because bowling evolves. Bowling goes through a lot of different things. The game changes, the equipment changes, things like that. I also want to just make mention that this urethane thing, a couple of times, helped left-handed players in the reactive resin era. Okay, I want you to think about Brett Wolf winning the Masters with a blue hammer. Okay, that was a big deal. He won the Masters with a blue hammer. Why did he use urethane that week? Let's face it, Brett Wolf, great guy, great bowler, but he won the Masters, and yeah, he bowled his you-know-what off. And I know he's from, out west here, but let's face it, I think he was so smart to use that ball that he had a look that nobody else had, and he was able to win the Masters with urethane. And then I remember Ryan Simonelli in that event that was on ESPN for a couple of days when he bowled Duke. Simonelli was using urethane, right? Two left-handed players using urethane that in a resin-dominated tour, okay? And they both had massive success when they did this. Then you started seeing urethane come into play in international competition. Old urethane balls, primarily, on shorter patterns. And then the ball companies, for international competition reasons, had to come out with some old school type urethane, pitch black and then purple hammers, and those are the leads. Those are the leads. And the pitch black came out because Andres Gomez stood up and said, "Hey, we need a pure urethane ball." And I believe the global factory had just been bought, and there was access to, I think, some of the old materials that was being used and some other things. I don't know what it is now, but back then that's what it was. So that ball came out, and it made careers again, right? Like Jesper Svensson, I'm sure he'd have figured out with reactive, but let's just face it, the pitch black has won him a lot of titles over the years, and now IQ 78. So those urethane balls are tools for players on certain patterns that just work for them. Just like reactive resin was tools for players when resin came out. And I say all this because, you still have to throw the ball. You still have to have some sort of talent. Everybody has access to the same balls, right? But what it does is it really manipulates a pattern. It really can change a pattern quite a bit. And when it changes a pattern that much, the people around you can say, this guy's changing the pattern, making it harder for me. So that adds controversy, right? Because it manipulates the pattern. Because it doesn't flare, and the oil sits on the ball, and it moves the oil from the front part of the lane down to the break point. And if you put a puddle of oil at your break point, the lanes get harder, and you can't carry it. That's a proven fact. So that makes it kind of tough, and that's why so many people are opinionated about this. The biggest issue right now with urethane bowling balls is we have rules in bowling, whether if it's at the USBC level or the PBA level, okay? And their rules state that a ball cannot be softer than a certain number. And these urethane balls, over time, and can be very quickly, become in the illegal number zone. And these people, these organizations, USBC, PBA, have to prevent a rule being broken through specifications and equipment. So imagine you are in charge of either one of those organizations or in charge of the spec committee, and you have to figure out a way to make sure the rule is not broken and that everything is being conducted in a fair way. How do you do that? How can you possibly do that? The balls are getting softer. You could ask the manufacturers to manufacture balls that don't get softer. I don't know how easy that is. I don't work in manufacturing or in tech or in technical terms of how that is. I don't know how to do that. I don't know if it's possible with these materials. I don't know. But that is a massive problem. So the organizations can say, we're just going to get rid of a hardness rule altogether and it's no holds barred. Do whatever you want to do. That's an option. I don't know if that's a good option. You can outlaw them altogether and then your problem goes away and you no longer have people using possibly illegal balls. But when they're manufactured, they are legal. We know that if you heat up a urethane ball, almost all of them become illegal if they're hot. So bowl in a bowling center that the air conditioning's not working and it's a urethane tournament, if you punched all those balls, they're probably all going to be under 72. It's a fact. Sitting in your trunk, they're going to be softer. And then studies have been done that if you throw a ball down the lane that's at 78 hardness or at 68 hardness, the ball hooks like 10 boards more. Something like that. It's not exact. So you've got chameleon bowling balls is what you have. You have bowling balls that change their form, become illegal, and there's rules in place. And there are some people that say you need to adhere to the rule, and there are some people that say you do not need to adhere to the rule. And that's where all the controversy is. And then you've also got some people's careers have been made because of that type of ball reaction. And that angers people and gets people upset. And then these bowling balls, when there's a lot of oil in the front part of the lane and it gets moved down lane and messes up other bowlers trying to go left or right with reactive or whatever, they get angry. So there we have this ginormous controversy. What is the answer? I don't know. There's a lot of really high-end people that are working on that, but it's just going to continue to be a controversy because there is no absolute fix. So there's my thoughts on urethane. You're welcome, everybody. And to be honest, I mean, some people are going to say, right on, Mike, and some people are going to say, dude, you are so clueless. You've been around the game this long. Well, why would you even say something like this on your broadcast? But to be honest, I don't want to say the word care. It's bowling. Are we gonna start doing things like, hey, if your bicep is more than 18 inches bigger, around, you can't bowl. You got to lower that bicep because you're too powerful. Or are we gonna start doing things saying, hey, the maximum you can throw a bowling ball is 20.5 miles an hour, because we know that more speed than that can knock the pins around more. So we're going to start putting in speed guns, and if you're ever clocked over 21, that ball is going to count as 0 for the frame. I mean, where do we limit this stuff, right? I don't know. I know that right now the manufacturers help feed the system, and I think some things have been done in the last few years that have really pissed off the manufacturers and have hurt their bottom line. But at the same time, I don't think the manufacturers should have any sort of stranglehold over what the industry does or doesn't do based off of their bottom line either. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a really tough thing. I can't wait to see what the smart people in bowling come up with. Speaking of smart people, there are some people playing the lanes very smartly here. We've got spare, open, six-bagger. We've been watching it here as we've been talking about this. We got triple, spare, double. Spare, double. Spare, double. And everybody's playing out on 47 feet in length oil pattern. Glad you're with us here on Inside Bowling. Going to go ahead and bring up that oil pattern one more time after this shot gets delivered on 21, just so you guys can see the oil pattern again. If you're just tuning in, it's the New Mexico Open 2025 edition. It's the 20th year for this event, and we're happy to be here bringing it to you for the first time ever on Inside Bowling in 4K. Click that gear down at the bottom. If you're not watching in 4K, make sure you do watch it in 4K. There is your oil pattern right there. Speed bump galore. Speed bump galore there at the end. Makes them very tight. Really can't go left or right hardly at all. And joining us to check in on how things are going here in the tournament is none other than USBC President, Inside Bowling Tournament Director here this weekend, Dennis Hacker. Welcome, Dennis.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that.
It's great to have you here, buddy. You made the trip out, and so far, scores are a little bit higher than what we had talked about last night. Today, we got some great players out there.
Not you. I just told Mike Fagan. I said I hate it when you're right. And I saw that is there 12 guys that are over right now? Is that what I thought I saw?
Yeah. So I haven't quite got that up yet. I know you've got the standings there. Last time I was there, we were talking about urethane, and I won't put you on the spot on that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna post this up here. I'm gonna put this in our chat room. Standings for everybody. Standings. There's a standings link now posted at the top of the chat, and I'll get that built in here as well so I can go take a look at it here. But Dennis, tell us how check-in went today. Tell us what you think. You know, you're out here out west running an event. What's it been like so far?
Well, it's interesting when you go to a place, and I'm sure that you deal with this quite often yourself. But you've been around the country. You've met a lot of the people. I shook hands with a bunch of people that I had never met before today, and so it's not like running a tournament in Missouri or any of the places in St. Louis, you know, where I'm very familiar with most of the people. I got to meet a whole lot of new people today. Some of them knew who I was. Some of them didn't know who I was, and that's fine too. But yeah, that was fun checking in. We had only one person that didn't show on the squad, and he thought he had signed up for tonight, and he actually did sign up for both and forgot that he signed up for this afternoon. So that's the only no-show we had today. One walk-in so far. And things are going fairly well out there, it looks like. I just watched Chase Nadeau, as you guys did right here in front of us. That was an interesting shape on the lane. It went 3 feet further than I thought it was going to and still peeled off the back of the pattern. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
To see that.
He's got that unique ball roll, of course. There are your standings. We've got them for you. Dennis has already updated the standings. We've got Scott Wiley leading at 245. We saw it happen right here. Andy Byer, 231. Chase Nadeau and Benjamin Hockroth, both with 227. Morgan Robinson had 223, along with Kyle Duster. Matt Zweig, 222. Brian Schomber, 216. Eileen Lenaris at 215. Cristobal Quintera at 214. So we had 10 players out of the 27, all bowl 200 or better.
And I wouldn't have guessed that, especially on the fresh. From what I saw yesterday, the balls were just sailing forever, but they've got a decent reaction today, it looks like. That was one right in front of us, Mike, that played the lanes exactly the way you described that people should play the lanes. I don't know if that, how many is that in a row for him? That's 3 in a row for him, so he's got a clue right now.
Zweig is playing right up the gutter. I believe that's with IQ 78, but I don't know that for sure. I believe that's an IQ 78.
Is it red?
It is red.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, that takes guts to do what he just did right there. That ball had nothing but hook right off the bat and then right into the pocket.
I know. Well, that's what he's been doing. That's what he did all of game one. He Greek churched on the 10th frame. It hooked a little early in the front part of the lane, just sat there and Greek churched. And he backed into, what was that, 220?
Yeah. And now to 260.
Yeah, Zweig bowled 222.
Remember, too, Mike, that the high qualifier on this squad is guaranteed into our bracket on Sunday.
Yep.
No matter what it is. So.
And I let folks know we've got, if we get 89 unique, that's a 24-man bracket. If we get to 108 unique, then we go to a 28-man bracket. And if we go to 124 unique, we go to a 32-man bracket. And right now, how many unique bowlers do we have signed up for the event?
I haven't looked because we lost one and we gained one, so I think we're even there. I thought it was 89 right now. I thought that's what we had. Actually, no.
We would go to 90,
I
right?
I apologize. I had 2 walk-ins this morning for tomorrow morning's 9 o'clock squad that haven't actually paid yet, so that makes 91.
Okay,
yeah,
91 unique bowlers so far, 91.
Yep.
And you can still sign up and come and participate in the event. Of course, we got A, B, C, D, E, F, and G squads.
Sounds like a holiday double.
It does a little bit. Here is our schedule right here. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Be there, right here on Inside Bowling. And if you are a competitive bowler and can get out here, we anticipate that you do. We highly encourage you to come out and bowl this event. Come out and play the twig. Or you could also play the middle of the lane. I think there's 2 areas you can attack this strike pocket here. You can get right up the middle of the lane, because you're not going to, if you throw it over your toe, if you miss left, you still got a chance at a Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like that.
That surface got him though. If you have surface on the ball, it will hook immediately on the
It will.
So.
Well, Dennis, it's about time to go grab some more scores, isn't it?
It is just about time to do that. So.
Dennis, you're more than welcome to come over and join us whenever you like throughout the weekend. Glad you're here with me. We're roommates here at our Airbnb, so I'm glad things are off to a good start, and so far so good over here on my side.
I'm excited. Everything's working good. We lost Mike for a little while. He went to get some rest because that cold is really getting to him, and he wants to make sure he's good for the rest of the weekend. So he's out of here right now. So we're unsupervised.
Oh, even better. I know where his office is.
Yeah. There we go. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks,
I'll be
buddy.
back later on.
Appreciate it, Dennis. It's Dennis Hacker, our tournament director here. USBC president, but this weekend he's got his inside bowling gear on as he is our tournament director here at Tenpins More. Really nice, really nice games here. 265. Some other good games going right here. I'm going to invert our stream and move us over. See, there's all that oil. It just wants to just slide. Take a look at our scores over here. We've got pretty low overall here, pretty low. These guys are really crushing them down here on the right side of our screen. Checking in on our chat room. Reactive killed Ron Palumbi. I know that was from a while ago. I agree 100%. Has there been any post to how many entries this event needs to pay the projected 10K? We need to have a 32-man bracket to pay 10K, and then I believe there'll be a player vote on how to disperse that money before the top 32 were to bowl. But I don't know that for sure. And that's unique entries. Pattern should be flat all the way across with different lengths and set a minimum on how light the amount of oil you can use. Get back to shot making and making being spare shooting important. All right, we've got about 500 viewers here today. That's great for a Thursday afternoon. So happy to be here with you. It's nice to, a lot of people ask me, Mike, will you bring back the IB Open? And currently right now the answer is no. It's not a forever no, but it's a no for now. And I got to tell you, this one here, being involved with Fagan and Dennis Hacker and myself, the three of us, a little triangle here, a little triangle group, we're working together on this singles tournament. It's going to evolve, just like anything else. And, we're going to look at some things for next year. We're going to look at weekends because Jeff Riggle's 11thframe.com tournaments this weekend, and a lot of our followers, a lot of our bowlers are from that. We'd like for them to make it out here, but there's a good event in the Midwest right now this weekend. So we're gonna look at maybe possibly not having them be on the same weekend. Got a lot of different things that we're doing, but this was really, we kind of had to run together. And shout out to Carl Ong, by the way, who was going to run this event, who runs great events out here out west. For whatever reason, just didn't work out for him to be able to do this one, so we stepped in to help. But Carl, shout out to you, buddy. Glad you're doing great things out west out here, and sorry you couldn't be part of this one, but we're happy to be here and kind of pick things up, and we look forward to being part of this one for many, many years to come. Fagan, Hacker, myself, we've discussed it. This is not a one and done thing. We want to keep coming to New Mexico every single year and showcase great bowling talent. The West is great. The East and the Midwest is known for bowling. It's been a hotbed of bowling, but what's happened out here west, we want to showcase the best of the West. So invert our stream here for a moment. There's Chase Nadeau looking for another one there. And it is pretty amazing how talented that young man is. To be able to go left to right on this pattern and get it still to come back to the strike pocket is outstanding. He is really bowling well. Really bowling well. Again, the standings are posted at the top of the chat room. I'll pop them up here one more time for you. Tournament leader is Scott Wiley, Andy Byer, Chase Nadeau, Benjamin Heckroth, Morgan Robinson, Kyle Duster, Matt Zweig, Brian Schomber, Eileen Linares, and Cristobal Quintana, the top 10 right now. And that 265 on the upper right side of your screen, that was bowled by one Matthew Zweig. I'm going to step away for just a second, say hello to somebody, and I'll be right back with you. All right, everybody, Mike here back with you. I had to step out for a second. If you really want to know what I was doing, I was talking to Steve Klimpkin, who just made his way in, who's a good friend of mine. Worked together at Storm for a period of years. And we were neighbors almost. He was just a couple streets over. And there were some pretty severe fires that took place in North Ogden yesterday. And he lives right up in that zone, in that area. It was right by where my house used to be. And I just wanted to get up for a second and just ask him if everything was okay, if he and Marcia and the dogs were okay. So we took some time there to talk about the fires in North Ogden. That's why I stepped away for a moment. But we've got everything up here for you up on the screens, of course. We've got possible 222 here, which is a nice comeback game here. For Antonio Lopez. Bowled 124 the first game, can bowl 222 this game. Thank you, brother. Hospitality here has been outstanding so far. I got here yesterday. Loving me some Tenpins More Bowling Center. Got to tell you, I've got a good crew here. Got some new folks, and you've got some folks that have been here for a very long time. Love them all. All right, just like that, we're getting into game number 3. We've got some bowling royalty here in the building. We got Dana Miller Mackey's here hanging out. Yeah, the new Cove is what Chase Nadeau's throwing. Well, welcome in. We got some new subscribers. We picked up about 40 subscribers so far just on this stream. So thank you so much for subscribing to our YouTube channel. We're on our way to 100K. We should be there within about a month. We might be celebrating it up in Iowa on our next broadcast. Greater Iowa Bowling Association, GIBA-bowling.com. It'll be the Ebonite Fall Classic. That'll be coming up here in September. For our full live stream schedule, you can head over to InsideBowling.com and click on live stream. And you will see that the Ebonite Fall Classic's coming up September 13th and 14th. And then we followed up October 11th through the 12th, the DV8 Nightmare Doubles down in Bartlett, Tennessee. And the 11th through the 14th, the Hammer Holiday Doubles at St. Clair Bowl in Fairview Heights, Illinois. We've also got a new event here this year, December 28th. DJ Archer has invited us to go to J-Town Strike and Spare in Louisville, Kentucky for the Caesars Winter Classic. And then February 21st, 22nd, Ebonite Winter Classic. Those are our next events we've got coming up here on Inside Bowling for you over the next couple of months. Awesome, Alan. That's great. Settled into St. Louis. All right, let's see who we have here on our live stream for this game here. We got Brandon Brown with Jacob Gill, Kevin Wilson, Brian Schomber on your lane 17 and 18, it looks like. Right next door, we've got Gabriel Gonzalez, Angelo Martinez, Bob Dillman, Jeremy Park. And then bottom right of your screen, Eric Wellman, Morgan Robinson, Alvin Thon, and Andy Byer, along with Chase Nadeau, Antonio Lopez, Steve Schultz, and Cristobal Quintana. The crosses move one pair to the right. And we're moving right along here. Don't forget, $19 t-shirts over at InsideBowling.com. You can pick those up now through Wednesday. One thing I've been forgetting to do, it's a little inside baseball for you, but I'd like to get the word out on what we have going on. I'm going over to Inside Bowling right now, insidebowling.com. I'm going into our website editor. And I am going to post a link here. We're going to go to the themes here. We're going to go into the customize of the website. And I believe I can put a ticker on the home page to let more people know that we are live streaming this bowling tournament. Let's go with, got a couple different options here. What's this one do? Yeah, let's go with that one. All right, so if I click on this here, now, how do I adjust that? Don't mind me, just over here trying to figure this out. Scrolling banner. Okay. There we go. All right, we've got the New Mexico Open. New Mexico Open, live streaming now. Click to watch. And our link right now looks like it is this one right here. One-man band right now. One-man band, everybody. Let's see what we got. Copy that. Put that over here. There we go. All right. Then it's got to remember to update this after every squad. There we go. Save. Somebody want to go over to InsideBowling.com and click on that banner and let me know that it's working in your hometown as well. New Mexico Open live streaming now. Click to watch. It's working on my end. Is it working for you? Let me know. Let me know. I should do a reset. 226 Rio Rancho, New Mexico, Albuquerque. You're watching continuing coverage of the New Mexico Open, first stream of the weekend, although it is Thursday. We're starting the weekend early here officially. You guys have any sort of problems with that? If you do, you know what I think about that? Your problem?
But it won't be today, brother. It won't be today.
No, not today. A squad qualifying. Let's take a look at our standings here. I bet they're updated. Oh, not yet. Swag had 487 to start. I think he's leading. We'll find out. Scores are coming in now. Being updated now. Dennis was over there working on something for the next squad. I know that, so it took a little bit of a second. Yep, 2 hip, yeah. If anybody ever needs 5XL shirts, just send us an email, sales@insidebowling.com, and we will make arrangements to get you 5XLs. We'll always do special orders on stuff like that. We'll take care of you. I'm going to invert our stream and see how our other players are doing here. A little picture-in-picture here, moving it around. Just a reminder, we are in 4K. Our first broadcast ever in 4K. To watch it in 4K, if you're not already, click on the little gear icon on YouTube. And that gear icon will allow you to change your settings. I don't know if Kenny Seymour's watching right now, but I want to give a shout out to Kenny. He asked me to shout him out. I always do. Glad he's watching today. Or was watching, or is going to watch, or is watching right now. I'm not sure. Chase Nadeau. Never hooked. So here's the thing. If you're just tuning in, whoever is the #1 bowler on this squad automatically makes it into our bracket on Sunday. It will be an automatic advancement into the bracket. Thomas Dillon here wants to know how to join a league, how to enter a tournament, and or how to join a championship game. If not, that's fine. I appreciate you. Thomas, welcome to bowling. Seriously, welcome to bowling. Glad to have you. This is how you would go about doing this, Thomas and Jasmine. If you guys want to get into bowling, first of all, enjoy it. Just go to the bowl. If you guys are going regularly now, awesome. If you're not, go. You'll rent shoes at the front desk, and then you're going to go down and select a bowling ball that they have there. I suggest bringing some sanitary wipes with you, like some Lysol wipes or whatever it is, and just wipe down the finger holes in that of your bowling ball. The centers do it for the most part, but just a good opportunity to be able to do that, just to feel clean and safe. And depending on your weight and that, you want to use a bowling ball that's not quite too heavy. But if you're a grown man, typically 15 pounds is where we go, maybe 14 to start. And then based off body weight, if there's a lady 120, 130 pounds, maybe throw a 12-pounder, something like that. And just get a feel for bowling. Get some timing and some repetition going. Determine if you're going to take just 3 steps. You're going to walk up and take 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, swing the ball, deliver it to the line. Or you want to take 4 steps or 5 steps. There's a lot of bowling videos on YouTube, including on this channel, that'll help you do that. And just kind of, just get used to getting into a flow. It's like dancing. You want to be able to get a nice flow going to the foul line consistently. You may want to have a little bit of a slide with the bowling shoes. You may want to kind of just plant a little bit, whatever's comfortable for you, and do so. And get yourself, a lot of reps. Give yourself, if you go bowling 3 or 4 times and you still love it, then I would go to a pro shop and say, okay, I'm falling in love with bowling. I need my own shoes. I need a bag. I need a ball. And then after that, you start working on your rotation a little bit. Start figuring out how to rotate a ball to be able to create angle and to be able to start understanding oil patterns and where you can throw the ball. And then from there, then once you're kind of cruising along with that, you're in a league for a year or 2, depending on how quick you want to fast track this or how much time you have. Then you want to get a coach, a local coach in your area. And find one of those and work with that coach and listen to them, right? And communicate back to them on what you're feeling. And then after that, the sky's the limit. So that's how you go about doing so. Go to your local bowling center. If you want to join a league, go up and say, hey, when are your leagues? Right now is a great time. Fall leagues are forming right now all throughout the United States. So make sure you check out fall leagues. Great time to get into bowling. And then if you want to enter tournaments in that, check out when your local bowling center is running a tournament. I wouldn't get in any high-end tournaments. Make sure it's handicap-based, but you got to establish an average first to be able to bowl a handicap tournament. No-tap tournaments are fun, which means you only got to throw 8 or 9 down to get an actual strike. That's a ring 7 there. String comes to an end. He's bowling great. A lot of good looks to the pocket here. But that's pretty much how you get in the game of bowling. That's how you get going. So hopefully that helps answer your questions. Hey, Bryce. Hey, Red's Adventure. Standings are updated after 2. Let's put them up on the screen. Looks like my picture-in-picture slided over just a hair. I can work on that. Give me just a second on that one. Did I say slid or slided? If I said slided, I apologize to my English teacher from grade school. That's my bad. That's a little better. Let's try this one. There we go. Matt Zweig, your tournament leader right now. Look at this guy go. He is 87 over, followed by Chase Nadeau at 64 over, Scott Wiley 36 over, Aylin Linares 26 over, Kyle Duster 24 over, Benjamin Heckroth 14 over, Brian Schomburg is 1 over. So we have 8 players plus out of 27. You see how the rest of the players are doing right there. And if you want to see this yourself, you can head over to our chat room, and at the top I have this link pinned at the top of the chat. Shout out to our friends over at tournamentbowl.com for providing our standings so quickly. Folks, I'm going to be joined by a guest here in just a second. I haven't built an in the booth graphic yet, though, so I want to make sure I have this ready to go. So, guys, everybody watching, before I introduce our guest, I used to run a tournament in St. Louis called the InsideBowling.com Open. And I kind of had a little dream there for a little while that we should take the very best amateur tournaments in the country and put them all together and try to come up with some sort of additional prize fund and sponsors and everything. And there's 5 or 6 of them that really stood out to me at that time. We're dating myself back to about 2013, 2014 or so. And on that list was the Bud Light Challenge up in the Northeast. There was a tournament down in Atlanta called the Eric DeFreitas Open. There was Brad Edelman's tournaments in Las Vegas, a high roller slash the other one, the True Amateur Tournament, the TAT. There was the Proprietors Cup at the time, which was gaining a lot of steam. And then, of course, there was this event here out west called the New Mexico Open. And I thought if there was a way that we could connect all those tournaments together in some way, we could come up with a very strong tournament group that put on events and then promote each other's events and make it like a tour or something for amateur bowling. And that's when I was first recognizing what this tournament was all about and the vision behind it. And I've always thought very highly of the Miller and the Mackey families, being a Midwest guy, paying attention to what was happening out here. And being a historian of the game, it's a true honor for me to be joined now in the booth, the man that put this event together. Just recently sold this bowling center to Michael Fagan, but joining me now, an honor and a treat, is Steve Mackey. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Oh, wow. I'm impressed. I shouldn't be. Yes, we did talk about that, and I think 2014, 2015, 2016, there wasn't a whole lot on this particular weekend. There was no PBA regionals or anything like that. I think the only thing we were up against was Jeff Richfield's 11th frame tournament up in Iowa. And we were getting 210, 215 15 entries there a few years in a row, and that would have been a good idea. In fact, Carl Long and I actually spoke about having a Southwest swing.
Yeah.
And incorporating this one, the one down in El Paso, the Oasis Lanes event coming up, and then a couple of Theo's tournaments down in Arizona going to have a little Southwest swing. So that was more or less, and all those tournaments you just mentioned, I think this is the only survivor.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. I got out of the IB Open business because the holiday doubles was so successful, and I really, didn't need to be in the tournament business. And, here's another thing that happened, Steve, and you already know this, but I'm telling our audience this, is there in the early 2010s, there was a need for more events. Yeah, the regionals were not doing well. The PWBA did not exist, and there was a thriving interest in competitive tournaments. And with live streaming becoming more of a thing and more prevalent, there's a real opportunity to showcase some amateur bowling talent that hadn't been featured in a long time. You might see it on a website, how they scored, but you didn't get to see them compete on the lanes. And when you put all that together, all of a sudden all these tournaments started popping up. But I think our lettered organizations, being USBC, PBA, BPAA, and now PWBA, I think with what they've done, I think the PBA's done a tremendous job in growing the regional program. Having the PWBA tour back is fantastic. And then collegiate bowling has exploded to the point that these college bowlers aren't as available to bowl because of junior gold and some of these events that are happening there. They can still bowl in college going into the summer. It's a more crowded space now, and that's why some of these events I think have gone away, but yours has withstood the test of time.
Yeah, and that's a very good overview of the history. You are a bowling historian for sure. I've always admired and appreciated all you've brought to the sport. And this coverage today, I've got to tell you, these pictures are beautiful. It looks like you've got some new equipment.
Yeah, 4K thanks to our friends at Sony. Been networking there on the technical side of things. The folks at Sony have really taken care of me to be able to do this.
Maybe they'd become a tournament sponsor.
Maybe so, but I'll tell you, I'll take the camera gear. The camera gear is very expensive.
How many cameras do you have here?
So it's not really a lot. I don't have a lot going on here. I'm using 2 of their cameras. I'll have another one added in on Saturday. I've got some older cameras doing the picture-in-picture scoreboards, but I'm very happy with how clear it is looking for being these types of monitors and what we have here. It's AMF AccuScore. I remember using AccuScore as my favorite scoring system of all time. Was in the center I grew up in, as a matter of fact. I love being able to do the 111X, 333X, and all those sorts of things when you put in the bowler numbers for pre-bowling or leagues or whatever. But this is these monitors, even though this scoring system is old, it still looks really good. So I do love the AccuScore.
Yes, and it was very user-friendly.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a different event next year.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
A lot of bowlers, league bowlers here. I finished up here in April, and they were saying, "Oh, what about string?" There's weird pinfall here. We've seen it already today. I just saw a guy almost had a swisher strike on lane 18. He left a 4-6 out of it. I mean, that's probably not going to happen on strings. So there's weird pinfall on everything. There's a house already in Albuquerque that has strings, and they had a scratch tournament up there about a month and a half ago, and very good scoring and on a tough condition. I didn't see too many weirdo strikes there, so people shouldn't worry about strings. It's the way of the future. It's what's coming. The next thing down the pike, I mean, they're all wood lanes. We didn't put synthetics here till 2014, so they're only 11 years old. Here we had one of the last wood centers in the state.
Are these HPL or SPL? Do you know?
These are SPL, AMF SPL, and very good approaches. The AMF approaches are
textured approach, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When they came out with those textured approaches, they were a game changer.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, I went with the AMF instead of the Brunswick product.
Steve, I can't believe it's taken us this long for you and I to sit and have a conversation on public air.
Well, you've always been up in...
I know.
And I've been running a bowling centre 7 days a week, so that'll usually do it on you.
You know, now many people don't realize you were a bowler yourself.
Well, I was a bowler.
People forget.
My average I'm 76 years old.
You bowled league last night.
Yeah, I bowled league last night. One crummy game, and the other three weren't too bad. But you know, arthritis and old age creeps up on you. Boy, he's very deliberate. Chase opened 2 frames, missed the head pin twice. He probably shocked himself with that, and now a 5-bagger.
I'm surprised the scores are this high, to be honest with you. I thought they'd be a little bit lower, but these players are just really good these days. I love how everybody's playing out on this 47 feet in length pattern.
Yes.
Most of the time you hear 47 feet means play the middle of the lane.
Yeah.
Not on this pattern.
Yes, not on this at all. And there you've got Cristobal Quintana. He's out of Iowa at one point. He's living down here now. Works for his brother in a car repair shop just down the street from here. He's got a 4-bagger double, so he's in good shape. Now, this guy on lane 24, Tony, he's a house bowler here. He lives down the hill at Corrales.
Okay.
He bowled down the middle in the first game. He shot $1.25. So then moved out because this guy shot 222 out there, and he was 125 in the 6th. I said, you've already beaten first game.
That's right. That's right.
230 or something in the second.
This is a re-entry tournament, so what's great about this event is people can get their feet wet now, and they can re-enter and take another crack at it.
Yes, and really 12 games isn't all that much these days. You know, in Australia, bowling tournaments started there in the 60s and 70s when the sport started. Everything was 16 games or more. And I bowled a tournament there in 1969. It was 92 games in 4 days, all match play.
Yeah, that'll take a toll on you.
Yeah, it was 64 games the first 2 days, 32 and 32. They were all 4-game matches, all match play. And then the third day was 16 games, and the last day was 12. And there was 24 of us in the tournament, and no one dropped out. Everyone was able to bowl 92 games. I mentioned that to some people when I first moved here. I said, well, we've had as many as 92 games. They were, 92 games? We wouldn't do that in a 30-week league.
That's true. Now, Steve, this tournament, this is the 20th year from what I understand. Is that what you have as well?
Let's
count the pictures. That's what I did. I cheated.
Count the photo. We've got John Young won twice, so we've got 3, 4. This is the 21st.
21st, because you got double pictures for Francois, but not for John.
Yeah, not for John.
Okay, all right. Well,
I don't think they had cameras back in 2004.
Probably not.
2005.
Yeah. Kodak was probably just.
In fact, I think I started putting these pictures up. We started on that tiny piece of wall over there.
Okay.
And now we're on the big wall down here. And Francois and John Young, the only two to win it twice. In fact, Jacob Buttriff could have won it again. And that's about it. Cortez Schenk had a chance to win twice.
You said John Young, right?
Yeah, John Young from Tajeres. It's about 6,000, 7,000 feet above sea level. He was flying high that
yeah, he was.
Couple of years. He bowled a very good bowler. He won the first tournament deep outside, not quite as outside as some of these folks are today. And then the second year he was on the third arrow. And a very good local bowler, member of the local Hall of Fame as well. Would be nice to maybe next year here have a reunion of all these folks.
It would be.
Most of them are active. In fact, Mark French was just inducted into his local Hall of Fame over there in Southern California. He won the 2008 event and a member of Team USA at that time.
So you started this thing 21 years ago. Why did you think you needed to put together a tournament in your bowling center for scratch bowlers?
It's week 33 of a 52-week year, and it was the worst week of the year revenue-wise.
Okay.
So I put it on to try and generate some interest in the sport. I had very good coverage in the local media here as well, and it was good for business. And I also used it as a lead into the fall league season. Started a Pro-Am a couple of years later, and that went really well. We've had as many as 160 entries in the Pro-Am tournament. So it was really for business, and then it grew into something somewhat more than that. We had Channel 13, the local CBS affiliate, covered it in 2007. It tripled the ratings of the program that we replaced that night. And then the following year they wanted another $5,000 or something to cover it. And I said, nah, I think I'd rather put it in the prize fund and build the tournament up. So we started with 78 people in 2004, and we've had as many as 217.
It's outstanding, man.
Got some scores now?
Just the same ones. I'm just getting myself organized over here so I can keep an eye on everything. I got my chat room here. I bring 2 laptops now because I need one to tinker and I need one to run the production. Jim Callahan's going to be joining me the rest of the week. I don't know if you know Jim very well.
I remember him from the women's tour.
Women's tour, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be joining us here in the booth. Looking forward to that. Of course, we've got the USBC president, my man from the Midwest, Dennis Hacker, here is helping run the event this year. So hopefully we're gonna take this thing with Fagan being the new owner here, buying the center from you. Hopefully we'll be able to take this thing and move forward and still continue to keep a lot of the tradition and the things that you guys have built here and have done such a great job with, but do some other things here to help enhance the event as well.
Yeah. Well, this will be a transitional year then, and that's fine.
It is.
Everything goes through transition.
And we're going to get feedback from the bowlers too, and I'm sure next year we'll do things just a little bit differently as well. Dennis and I were a little late to the party. Carl was going to be involved with the event, and then I think he had some other things going on or whatever. So Mike called me and said, "What do you think I should do? Should I cancel it for a year? What should I do? Would you want to get involved?" And I called Dennis, and here we are. We're here now.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it kept on going, and I told Mike Fagan when we were talking about the sale, I said, if you lose the date, you'll never get it back. I said, there's a lot of opposition these days and a lot of competition and opposition, unfortunately, and you need to keep the date. So here we are, and it'll be fine. It's a good transition, and it's a very good field. It's a quality field for sure. Well, 203, that probably gets him about 70 over or so.
Yeah.
60 or 70.
Yeah, Chase was at 67 coming in.
Yeah.
Talking it over here with Steve Mackey. Steve, how hard was it? You had been involved in this center since what year?
1999.
99.
Year that you'll live in infamy.
So 26 years and stepping away. You sold the center to Mike Fagan. How hard was that?
Well, it was coming out of a rough economy. And in fact, Mike had first visited here in July of last year. And he was here in September. I had a bunch of Australian kids over here from the city of Brisbane. And they're coming back in 2026. So we started talking over a year ago about this particular event and also the sale. So it takes a while getting financing and so on and so forth. It's not easy selling businesses in the state of New Mexico, incidentally. lots of weirdness, lots of requirements. Wow. He's a very versatile house bowler, Gabe Gonzalez. Just throws backup balls at Bears over on that side of the lane. A lot of new faces here. And that's an unusual style.
Heading into game number 4, going to swap over our graphic here. Talking things over with Steve Mackey. Steve, I got to ask some questions here. So, Mike Miller was your general manager, right? He was kind of helping run the event, run the whole thing.
Mike was the lane man for this tournament.
Okay.
And no one ever knew what the lanes were going to be like. We'd put a preview tournament.
No, thank you. Appreciate it, though.
We'd put a couple of preview tournaments down with the sport shot that he'd create, and we also had some practice sessions prior to the first squad. And so he was the main man there, and people really enjoyed that rough experience. You know, a lot of people have called him the mad scientist and whatnot. I always told people, I said he just had a late night pizza followed by a Chinese meal full of MSG, and that's where he came up with this. I mean, we had winners. David Haynes was on the 6th arrow. We've had Mark French, who we mentioned a few minutes ago. He won with a 28-year-old bowling ball that he bought on eBay for $250 or something or other. He was 28th out of the top 32. We had a 4-game semi-final squad to see who would get into the match play, and he jumped from 28th to 4th and never looked back. So he really had a deal on the lane conditions. And there was some confusing shots, I can tell you.
Quite a character, Mike Miller. I heard a lot of stories from the PBA Tour back in the day, many that we probably can't talk about here on the air, but
probably not.
What a fun guy, right? And you've got to be around him a lot.
I bought him and his dad Gary and his daughter Adri. She was 3 years old. And brought them out to Australia in 1989. Dana and I had been married in 1988, and they went all over the east coast of Australia, Melbourne, Geelong, Sydney, Brisbane, Newcastle, Wollongong. They were everywhere. Canberra, I think they added. And they drilled bowling balls. They drilled bowling balls until 2 or 3 in the morning. People couldn't get enough of them. Mike won a tournament in Blacktown, Sydney, and I think he won a tournament up Tweed, a place called Tweed Heads on the Gold Coast. So he's been around.
Yeah, I remember watching Dana. You mentioned Dana, of course. I remember watching her, when I was in my teens, early teens. On, I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday nights on ESPN. She had a lot of success on tour.
Yeah, she won 16 titles on the national tour, 4 majors. She won the US Open twice, and she won the AMF Gold Cup twice as well, the late 90s. And she's been a coach here. In fact, we're probably going to be coaching another high school team here next season. The high school season here starts in October and goes through February. So she's spent a lot of time here coaching, as did Mike. One of Mike's proteges here, Aileen Linares, 426 for the first 2 games. And she, I think, is on her way down this way. We'll probably get to see her in the 5th or 6th game.
What's the status of bowling here in the Albuquerque area? Is it thriving right now on the competitive side of things?
The state government here closed bowling centres for 11 and a half months. In fact, we were the last state to open in the world.
In 2020?
In 2020. We were closed for 6 months. I sent the governor, who's still up in the chair in Santa Fe, sent her a bunch of information on bowling and how safe it could be made and so on and so forth. And we had no success with that. All of a sudden, we got open for a few months and then closed again. It was going to be a 2-week reset because of the threat of COVID over Thanksgiving holidays, and that 2-week reset ended up going for 5.5 more months. So
Wow.
we were the last ones in the world to be opened again.
Wow.
You know, Georgia opened after 30 days.
So quite a hit to the
It took
bowling.
a hit, and some of the bowling centres closed and were never able to reopen. We lost a 24-lane and a 36-lane house here in the state, and it came back strong, but it hasn't helped. We've got a couple of family entertainment centres now downtown here, a couple of new centres, but one of them is around one in a shopping mall, and the other one's Main Event, and I think between those two centres, which house 33 lanes between them, there's one league. So league bowling's taken a bit of a hit.
But this particular center has pretty good league base, so from what Mike was telling me.
Yes, we had 750 bowlers in the fall last season. We had about 510 in the summer this year, and you know, they've got a good league structure coming up here. Folks, if you're a local area bowler and you want to join a league, now's the time to get signed up. They'll all be starting over the next couple of weeks. This house is going to start their leagues after Labor Day, and that's when the lanes should be reinstalled and pin setters and so on and so forth.
Steve, I'm getting older and I forget things, but
Not much.
I think you weren't you involved in like how to get people into bowling programs? Did you have like special bowling parties or something that other people copied and used throughout the entire states? I can't remember. I thought I remember your name being linked to something unique that you did that other people modeled and helped bring people into bowling.
My memory fades me too. I don't know about that. I did run a lot of tournaments here. I ran 50 weekends a year. I would have a tournament of some description here. No taps and
I
pro-ams.
think that might have been what it was.
Scratch tournament, yeah.
Were you tied in with AMF for a period of time?
Yes. I was, before I bought this place, I was the Vice President of International Operations. So I had 71 centres in 11 countries that I was looking after, and constantly in the air. I've got 4 million miles. How many miles have you got now?
Oh, I don't keep track of it, to be honest. I travel all these different airlines. I'm a discount airline shopper.
Oh yeah.
I drive to a lot. I try to drive to a lot, being in the Midwest. But that's what I remember it from. Was I worked for AMF. I worked for AMF as a counter control supervisor, then a sales director. This is going to be 1990. Let's see, 16 years old, 1995 to 1999-ish.
And where? What
In
house?
St. Louis.
Oh, in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So was Weber Lanes open then? Big
It
Weber Lanes?
was. Strike and Spare, Weber Lanes. I worked at AMF St. Louis, AMF Fairlanes. Did you remember a guy by the name of John Thompson that worked for them, a trainer,
No.
training manager, or Tim Dooley?
Tim Dooley,
Tim
good
Dooley,
guy,
yeah.
good tournament guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
Tim
worked
Dooley.
for me, yeah, he was a good guy. In fact, he was managing Watauga in Fort Worth for quite a while.
He was, and
Yeah.
he managed St. Louis Lanes for about
Yes.
a year, and I
Yeah.
worked under him.
Yeah, good guy,
Yeah,
good tournament guy, and a heck of a bowler.
and a great laugh.
Yes, and a redhead.
Yeah, redhead.
Yeah, I was a redhead once. And you? Were you
No,
red?
no.
Yeah.
People think I got a little bit in there, but
Yeah,
but yeah. So I think that's what it was. I think Dooley used to tell me about you. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think Tim would tell me, Steve Mackey. Did you have? Okay, maybe this was it. Maybe this is because it's all kind of sort of coming back to me. I think perhaps. Did you write a tournament manual for AMF?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
I had the tournament manual and it had your name on it. The Steve Mackey tournament manual for AMF bowling.
I used to send from Australia the bowling bank of ideas, and I've got 1,000 ideas at home. Not all my ideas. Very few are my ideas, but
You just put them all together in one.
Just put them all together in one thing, and I got
remember
that
this.
idea from Paul Lane. Did you ever run into him, Paul? He was an AMF guy from England and ended up moving over to America. Ran a number of World Cup tournaments.
What was his name? Paul?
Paul Lane.
Okay.
He lives up in Colorado now.
Not Paul Hart.
No.
Okay.
And Paul was one of the first AMF quote professional bowlers when bowling started in the UK in the early 60s.
Boy, I'm glad I was able to connect those dots on where I remember you being, no standings yet, where you know, how I remember your name at a younger age being put up on as this is an astute guy that's good at building bowling in some sort of way. I'm glad we were able to get there. I'm just glad we could get to that.
You've got a very good voice for commentating.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Handing out compliments. I
appreciate it.
Yes, you've been there and done that a few times.
Yeah, you know, it's really kind of bizarre. When I was younger, you know, my parents got divorced, you know, like many parents do. And I got a job very early and enjoyed working and then spending all my money on things that I wanted, whether if it was DVDs, CDs, a nice big TV at my house, whatever it may be. But I grew up really being a ginormous pop culture and sports fan. And I still am to this day. I just love it. I love the movies. I love the arts. I love television programs, music, all different genres. From Barry Manilow to Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'll listen to anything. But I grew up, you know, I went to my high school father-son, whatever it was, luncheon, dinner, whatever, banquet. And I took my brother, and Bob Costas was the speaker there.
Oh.
Bob Costas, right? And when you think to St. Louis, Bob Costas is from St. Louis. The Buck family is from St. Louis. Harry Carey called Cardinal games. Mike Shannon. Dan Kelly with the Blues. There's just such great broadcast history in the St. Louis area. And then, of course, I grew up watching SportsCenter in its heyday. Dan Patrick, Keith Olbermann, Linda Cohn. Kilburn was even on there. Stuart Scott. Chris Berman. I watched every week NFL Countdown, where you got all the highlights of everything that happened. And I just really fell in love with sports. And I just loved picking up on what I could get from all these different great people. And then when Dan Patrick started his Dan Patrick radio show with Rob Dibble in the early 2000s, I listened to that show religiously. And I love sports broadcasting. But I've been a bowler my entire life. I'm a bowling guy. And how would I possibly ever be able to call NHL or MLB without going to Syracuse University or Full Sail now? So I'm able to live out a dream through this network here. And then Tom Clark at the PBA gave me a great opportunity to be able to be involved with Extra Frame many years ago. Flow Bowling kept me involved as well by bringing me on to work with them. And then when they phased out, United States Bowling Congress, Chad Murphy, Jason Thomas, Roger Nordick, and those folks allowed me to be part of that network. And I've been truly honored and blessed to be able to call this much bowling. I think I've called 37 professional titles across the PWBA, the PBA, the PBA 50. Plus, I've called some junior gold finals with Carolyn Doran-Ballard, one of the best ever. Yeah. I've called finals with Randy Peterson, Bo Burton. I mean, you know, that's another guy, Bo Burton. We talk about St. Louis broadcasters. Yeah, right. He's from St. Louis. And, you know, he and Chris, that's the thing about Randy Peterson. Some people rip on Randy, and they shouldn't. He hasn't had a consistent broadcast partner his entire career. Yeah. It's uncanny to even think about that.
Yes, every time he sees one of their pictures in the post office, he thinks it's a different guy to work with, or gal.
I know. It's unbelievable. But I appreciate you saying that. I truly love broadcasting. And I just always want to try to take bowling forward or do something better. I feel like bowling's always 5 to 7 years behind today we're broadcasting in 4K. I don't know of any bowling broadcast. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened somewhere. I just haven't seen it. That's been in 4K.
Right.
And Sony was able to make that happen for us here today. So that's really cool. I love to try to push things forward, but I love the whole broadcasting aspect of everything.
Well, I started broadcasting bowling in 1973. I'd written to the Australian Bowling Broadcasting Commission, and I said, I think we should do a bowling series, a 16-week series. We can film it in 2 days, serialize it, run it in the slot where you've got a program called Pot Black, which was a snooker program.
Okay.
And I said, you know, when that thing finishes, you could have the bowling on there on Friday night. They replayed it on Saturday. And never heard back from them. Never. All of a sudden in March, this producer walks in. He said, "Oh, hi, I'm Ron May from ABC Television." He said, "You sent us a note there about 5 months ago." He said, "We're going to do it. We're going to call it Big Bowl."
Big Ball.
Big Bowl. B-O-W.
Oh, Big Bowl.
Yeah,
Okay.
B-O-W-L, as opposed to Pot Black. And
Okay.
And then they had a lawn bowls program that followed mine, and that was called Jack High. If you hit the jack with lawn bowls, that's a big deal.
Okay.
So anyway, they said we need a color commentator. I said, well, I'm probably going to be bowling in the tournament. You know, top 16, and I'm still 7th or 8th or something on the rankings. And oh no, we want you to. So I started doing bowling programs, and I've probably done bowling programs in 6 countries or something or other. Dick Weber and I have done a number of shows together, and he was always fun to work with. Loved him, and stayed in his basement back in St. Louis. So a lot of stuff happens out of St. Louis, and commentating's been enjoyable for me. This coverage is completely different. You know, if I was talking too much, if I was talking as much as this, I'd have the producer screaming out, "Hey, shut the hell up!"
Yeah.
And so this is a different sort of coverage, but it's enjoyable. And you know, I've watched a lot of your programs, and I've always enjoyed your voice. Well, let's have a look at some scores here.
We're waiting for 2 more to come in. Just waiting for 2 more scores, and then we'll have it. Yeah, I talk about the Dan Patrick Show. I talk about these podcasts, all those things. I had a podcast in 2011, going way back to then. But I really, truly believe as long as during qualifying, we've got every picture up on the screen, and we continue to update you with the standings, and we talk about lane play a little bit and what's happening in the center. Outside of that, when I can sit down with a treasure like yourself, we're going to talk. We're going to talk some shop. We're going to talk about some bowling. Some people are going to listen to what we're saying, and they're going to learn stuff about what's happening, and I'm learning stuff here today. So I enjoy anytime I get a great guest like yourself, especially during qualifying. When we start making cuts and stuff, it's all about the action, because that's what we're here for. But
yeah.
But I truly do enjoy listening to you speak about all the different things that are going on. And I was really looking forward to hopefully getting to see you here. I think it's so cool that you sell the bowling center, but yet you're still in here to be part of the event, support the event, even though you're no longer this isn't your baby anymore. But it still feels like it is, and it's great to have you here.
Oh, very nice. Well, Aileen Linares is bowling now. I think she's on 17 and 18. She's doing quite well. She's a local girl, and it's good to have some locals. It's been very tough on New Mexico bowlers here. Of course, J.D. Nance has run second twice. We were really hoping he'd win one of the last couple of tournaments, but he's really been the only hope for New Mexico for 10 or 12 years.
Well, here are our standings. We've got them up here. I'm going to refresh over here on my side so I can read it a little bit better. Matt Zweig is your tournament leader. He bowled 222, 265, and 188 to be plus 75 for his opening 3 games. 3 to go. Chase Nadeau is in second at 667. He bowled 227, 237, and 203. And there's Aileen Linares with 215, 211, and 208 at plus 34. Andy Byers fourth at plus 26. Scott Wiley and Cristobal Quintana are at plus 14, tied for 5th. So we've got 6 players that are plus in this event so far out of 27.
That's pretty unusual, incidentally, in the first squad.
That it's that high?
Yeah, to have 6 over after
Yeah.
3 games, very unusual.
Let's see. Benjamin Heckroth is -5. Kyle Duster -7. Morgan Robinson -10. Trent Irwin -27. Those are your top 10 currently.
Well, people have been asking me what they think the cut will be. Typically, for the top 32, it's 197, 198, 199 average, so that would put it around 1180. Based on what they're doing here in the first squad, it looks like it might be a little higher than that. Well, Aileen opened the third frame. She's got a strike. Here we go. And this shot is right in her wheelhouse. If she can maintain timing and the right speed and everything, that's shot outside here on our sport condition league here at Tenpins More. She's averaged 220 in that.
That's awesome. Yeah, she's bowled 3 games over 200 so far today. Like I mentioned, 215, 211, 208, keeping the ball in play. Yeah, so when it came to developing this pattern, right, Mike and I talked about it, and this is a bit of a variation of the old InsideBowling.com open pattern that I used to put out, except there's not as much hook off the gutter. It's tighter off the gutter, and that was with intent because of just how hard they've been here over the years.
Yeah.
I said last night to Dennis, back at the Airbnb, to Dennis Hacker, our tournament director, I said, I think the cut number, if we end up going with a 24-person bracket, because we've got a couple qualifiers here based off how many unique entries we have. We may do a 24-man bracket if we get 89 players, but if we get 108, we'll go to a 28-man bracket, which is very unique, or 124 unique players, we'll do a 32-man bracket. But I said, I think it's going to take plus 47 to make it. And they were like, we think you're high. I think you're high on that. Not high like on drugs, but my number was high. So they were thinking around even or a little bit under. So we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out.
I don't know about, 47. Got 14 over in, what, 6th?
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, we've got 7 squads this year. Potential, a few more squads. Did you start on Friday last year?
Friday. It's always been Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so these are kind of bonus squads here on Thursday.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I was shocked that when they told me that how many bowlers we had on Thursday. I was thinking 10 a squad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. I was just thinking Thursday. You kidding me? 10 bowlers would be excellent each squad.
Yeah.
Start with 27 here, and I think we got 24 tonight.
Yes. Well, Aileen's in a little bit of bother here.
We got to get her a double here somewhere. Let's get her a double. There's one, right? Boom. Here we go.
And the man walking down the lane is the bowling centre manager here at Tenpins More now, Rob Ballog. Came down from the Denver operation, where he is a regional manager with the Bolero Lucky Strike chain.
Great dude. I've been working with him here, just this event. Really nice guy.
Joseph Lapointe. A lot of house bowlers in this squad. League bowlers from this bowling centre. Brian Chamba just left that cold 9-pin there. Brian is out of Ruidoso, and of course they've had a ton of floods down there. Been in the national media. People in Australia wrote to me and said, "Are you anywhere near Ruidoso?" So they've had a lot of issues down there. They've got new bowling centre owners at the 10-lane centre down there, and they run a very good tournament every December called King of the Rock. And if you ever ended up with a little southwest swing, that probably wouldn't be a bad one to consider adding to it. right here in front of us with the bald head, Marcus Sanders. Marcus, a very good family man, and the Sanders family bowled a lot of events here. Marcus' son Chris will be in the next squad. Talk about revs with his thumb in. Unbelievable. could be over 500 revs thumb in, a la Tackett.
You've seen a lot of bowling over the years. What EJ Tackett's doing right now, would you put that right up there with some of the best runs in PBA history?
Best ever. One of the best ever.
You mentioned Dick Weber earlier. You know, Dick, I believe, was a rookie on tour in his late 20s.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, he won about half the tournaments the first 2 years.
Yeah. He won 26 titles, I think. And, you know, people were pretty much astounded with him. They called him the Splendid Splinter. In fact, I think John Archibald of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch probably gave him that nickname.
Coined that one, huh?
Yeah, the Splendid Splinter. He came to Australia when he was 37 years old, Dick, and his whole family, Pete, Rich, John, Paula, and his wife. And they bowled all over the place. He averaged 226 down the third arrow at Rush Cutter Bowl in Sydney. That was unheard of. I mean, that was like a no-tap average for a tournament. And people just loved him down there.
See if we can get this double here. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is.
She was a successful anchor man for us. In fact, the first time she ever bowled high school bowling, we had about 40 kids in the Rio Rancho high school squad that year. And I remember her. She was down on lane 16, and she had a 10-pound house ball. First time she'd ever bowled. And I was just scared to pieces that she was going to drop that ball on my foot. And she's come a long way. Mike Miller's got a lot to be thankful there. Joey Lapointe doing pretty well. He's got a 4-bagger.
How about that?
He's loves to bowl.
Is that a ham bone or a 4-bagger? I don't remember.
It's a 4-bagger. Ham bone, man bone, cram bone. Crazy. Give me a break. And I've still got people in league. Hey, I just got a ham bone. I said, what would you have for dinner or what?
I got to tell you, though, that Rob Stone, he has had a nice career in broadcasting in general.
Yeah, pretty good at soccer.
Yeah, really good, yeah.
Yeah.
And pretty good at the desk running those bozos on college football on Fox on Saturdays.
Yes, right. And you know, talk about bozos, goodness. I hope that none of them are listening.
Well, I mean, you got to think he's sitting there with Matt Leinart and Urban Meyer and Reggie Bush. I call them bozos, but that is a what do they call that when that's a crew, right? That's quite a crew.
Yeah.
To be able to hang with those personalities and be able to control all that chaos, that takes a lot of talent out of a guy.
Yeah.
That's why I think Ernie Johnson, I don't know if you watch the NBA at all, but inside the NBA, where he's got to sit there with Charles Barkley and Shaq.
Right.
I know Kenny kind of helps him out a little bit there to control it, but my goodness gracious, polarizing personalities there.
Yeah. Yes, that's Eddie Herrera just came back to bowling. His dad and mum, Joe and Linda Herrera, league officers here at Tenpins More.
Awesome.
And Eddie was a youth league bowler. He's got a child now in high school. Time marches on.
Morgan Robinson here can still get to 191. He can't now, but he bowled 223, 148, 219. Just had that one bad game in there. I think this this pattern is going to encourage a lot of people to be hungry to re-enter.
Yes. No question about that.
Because you can bowl, you can feel like you got a really good look.
Yeah.
Like Morgan, 223, 148, 219. You get done bowling, you go, man, if I could just clean up that 148, right?
Shoot 185 and. Well, I'm surprised that there's so many strings of strikes. As Weig had a 9-bag of 265 or something, 266 in the second game. And, the strikes are there, but you've got to make your spares. And there's some pretty rough counts out there. It's going to be a close cut. 47 over, eh? Well, I don't think it's going to be that high, but the pressure usually gets to people, particularly on Saturday.
They say strikes for show, spares for dough. That's one thing that I've heard before.
Yes.
And then Timmy Mack has one, and I always screw this up. He says something like, strikes build the house, spares pay the rent.
Yes, that's about right.
I think that's what it is.
Oh, goodness.
Well, let's see if she can bail out 2-0 here. She's gonna need a triple and 9 to get the 200 even.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be a really good effort.
Still a nice back half of this game. I mean, sticking in it here, not having a disaster game by any means. I love the mountains out here, by the way. I lived in Utah for about 10 years of my life, and I loved having the mountains around. I'm back in the Midwest, and it's humid in the summer and rainy, and I don't see any mountains anywhere. And I came back here and felt really good. I love the mountains here.
That Sandia Mountain is 10,378 feet above sea level. And a lot of the runners from Kenya and all those places, they'll practice here.
Really?
At the altitude, yeah. The marathon runners, men and women, you see them running the streets quite a bit.
Pop up the standings again for everybody if you're just tuning into our broadcast. My name is Mike Flanagan from Inside Bowling. You're watching the New Mexico Open 2025 edition, 21st year for the event. We're sitting here talking it over with Steve Mackey, who has owned the center for many, many years, since 1999, and started this event 21 years ago. And now has sold the bowling center to Mike Fagan, and he's sitting here in the booth with me, watching his tournament continue to move on and prosper. And we're looking forward, if you're watching right now and you're on the fence on coming, or if you're like, you know what, I could get out there, we encourage you to come out, and we'd love to see you in person, participate here in this year's event. Also want to thank our title sponsor, Brunswick. Shout out to Brunswick. If you're looking for a new bowling ball, bag, shoes, they've got a family of brands over there. Check them out. Also, if you're looking to upgrade your bowling center or whatever you may need, Brunswick does a lot of great things for bowling. Check out brunswickbowling.com. Also want to thank our friends over at Shamrock Foods, Jani King, Western Bowling Proprietors Insurance, of course, the center here, Tenpins More, and of course, all of us here at Inside Bowling. If you're looking for some new t-shirts, you can pick up $19 t-shirts now through Wednesday at InsideBowling.com. And you can also save 15% off all apparel, and that's year-round, no matter when you're watching, with coupon code YouTube on the left-hand side of your screen. You're watching the first of 7 squads. We'll have them for you all the way through Saturday, and then we come in Sunday with our double elimination match play bracket. That'll conclude around 4 in the afternoon or so, right here, Mountain Time Zone.
Jacob Gill here on lane 19. He's won a few tournaments lately. He's a king of the hill here at Tenpins. He was the first one to win 2 of those scratch events on sport shots. And he's having a bit of a rough time today. What's Jacob Gill got?
Yeah, let's take a quick look. Jacob is 12th, minus 45. 168, 218, 169.
Yeah. Two-hander. Lots of 300 games. Big average here in the Sport Shot League on Monday night, the Draft League. The Draft League, incidentally, starts up again here the week after Labor Day Monday, and they're looking for people to sign up for that. Just a reminder, if you're wherever you are in the viewing area, sign up for leagues. You're the mainstay of the business.
That's right.
And you need to remain the mainstay of the business. You know, this bowling centre here, Mike is 42 years old.
42.
And I don't know if there'll be any, quote, family entertainment centres still around after 42 years from the day they opened. That's an unusual comment to make. Most people don't want to hear that. But, you know, league bowling's king. League and tournament bowling is king. I just had someone, that was a tough break for her. I just had someone say to me, oh yeah, they bought this particular bowling centre and they've turned it into a family entertainment centre and business is down. I mean, you've got to have leagues 6 or 7 days a week. What do you think?
I knew you were going to ask me that. So here's to those of you that are watching and care about the industry and the insides and inner workings of a business. First of all, if you own a bowling center, there are some ridiculous expenses that you just can't get away from.
Yeah.
One of them being the electricity bill, especially in a warm area. That bill can be 5 figures a month.
Yeah.
That is very okay. So let's just say at $3 a game. I'm just going to take $3 a game. 10,000. You have to have 3,333 games bowled just to pay the electric bill.
Yeah. Right.
That's insane. These lanes take up a lot of space, so they have to generate revenue. They have to constantly be going up and down, right?
Yep, yep.
And you've got this thing called average price per game also that you have to think about a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you've also got time. How much time does the average price per game take, right? So those are all the factors. So to answer your question and what you were just saying, I'm 100% with you that you need to have guaranteed weekly revenue with the folks that love the sport and are competitive, and it's their center as much as it's yours, right? They feel a piece of ownership in the center because they should. They should feel like, okay, well, that's my center, that's my home alley, that's my, right? So I agree. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night league, 100% across the board, no matter the center. On Friday nights, I also believe that you can have a really strong league, but I prefer a league that when they're done, there's a way to keep them there longer. Whether if it's some entertainment in the bar or something special for them that they can do after league, whether if it's a no-tap tournament where other people come in from other centers and bowl a late night no-tap that gets done at 1 a.m. and maybe some of the league bowlers want to stick around and bowl the no-tap, or something else, some other variety. Right. But the league can't start too late, otherwise you cut into any open traffic that wants to come in. So you kind of got to start at 6:30 or so.
Yeah.
Now, and we're going to switch over to game number 5 here, everybody. We're talking it over with Steve Mackey here. I'm Mike Flanagan from Inside Bowling. And I want to talk about a Saturday. And I want to talk about how you can set up a Saturday to really benefit your business and impact the league bowlers to where you don't have to take as big of increases year after year on your lineage rates and things like that. So this is where I think you can really, really have your bowling center prosper. So, and I'm going to draw this on a piece of paper right here. I got one right here. I'm just going to draw it right here on the back. I got a second one right here. Steve, if you run a bowling center like a movie theater, and if you start your day, say, at 9 a.m., okay, and you have, let's just say you have a really nice youth program, right? Ideally, I think everybody wants to have a Saturday morning youth program that fills the house.
Right.
I think we would agree with that,
Yeah.
right? So if you let your youth come in at 8:30 and you'll turn the lanes on for practice, they can have 8:30 to 9 bowling, and all the coaches, I would encourage the coaches to be there to where they can work on their game and stuff, and then turn them on for score at 9, and they're going to bowl 3 games. So this 9 a.m. is going to last till about 11:30, 11:45, something like that, right? And it's a house shot, so they're going to bowl quick, and you encourage the kids to bowl quick. And let's just say you put 4 on a lane or something like that, or 3 on a lane, whatever it is, and you get them done. So over the course of that, this is a 24-lane bowling center. Let's just say you're getting $25 a lane. Okay, we could increase it to 30 if we wanted. But if we're getting $25 a lane times 24, that is, so I have to use my calculator, Steve, on that?
600.
It's about $600? Okay, we'll go 600. All right, so you can make $600 from your youth program. Okay, now if you go from 12 to 2 and 2:30 to 4:30, and you fill the center with birthday parties, okay? They all start at the same time and they all end at the same time, okay? And let's charge for a birthday party for up to 6 kids on a lane. Let's charge $60 a lane. Okay, $60 a lane, 60 times 24. So we can make $1,440 right there. And that's just on bowling, $1,440. And then let's maximize those birthday parties, and let's make sure that when people put down their deposit that we follow up with them and say, hey, by the way, you can also get a game card for everybody in the party. We can have food ready for the party, for mom and dad, for the kids. How many pizzas do you want? All these sorts of things. So you can really upsell that 12 to 2 and 2:30 to 4:30. Right. Play the birthday song halfway through, celebrate all the birthdays, everything. Let them know you get 2 hours of party time. You got to show up on time and leave on time, and you do that. And then you have a 5 p.m. slot, right? And that could be a league on a Saturday if you wanted it to, or it could just be a 5 to 7 matinee bowling special, right? Where you come in and it's all from 5 to 7. You can pre-book it if you want. Let's just do like 40 a lane. Let's just do 40 a lane. Let's call that $1,000. And then let's do a 7:30 to 9:30, which is kind of your prime time. Make your reservations, come in and bowl. And let's say that's 70 a lane, something like that. We're going to make $1,500 in that time frame. And then we're going to do a 10 to 1 a.m. all you can bowl. I don't know, let's just do that. It's like 60 a lane because it's later. And we're going to do that, so we're going to put that at about $1,300, okay? So now, if we sell out everything and we let people pre-book this so they don't have to wait, just like you're going to a restaurant. I want to go to Texas Roadhouse at 7:30 with my family. Now you can come to Tenpins More. Here's your day. We know what our maximum capability is on bowling for the day if we shake it out that way. And there's no Swiss cheese holes in any of this. There's some quick turnarounds. You got to run on time. But in that particular case, we could make
$7,300.
Yeah, you already did the math. $7,300 in bowling, and then if you can double that in the food and beverage area, that's a tall ask. That's a tall ask.
Well, you'd probably get if you could get $7,300 out of bowling, you'd probably get $4,500 out of food and beverage.
Probably, yeah, you're probably right. So you do that, and then you fill up your bar with some sort of entertainment or something. You could get another crowd in there for that.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect Saturday.
Yeah.
And there's nothing about league or tournament in there.
Yeah.
And I'm a league and tournament guy. Yeah. Now, you want to run a nice big tournament on a weekend and run an event like this once or twice a year, I'm good with that. That's to give up all of this, right? Yeah. But I think this is the recipe for success in a privately owned bowling center.
Yeah.
And then you do some sort of hybrid between what we talked about Sunday through Thursday and maybe even Friday nights like I talked about. If you can do some sort of hybrid on Sundays where you have the birthday parties during the day, in the morning maybe you run a 99-cent special or $1.50 a game special to let league bowlers or the public come in and bowl cheap on Saturday or Sunday mornings. Start your birthday parties 12 to 2, 2:30 to 4:30. Maybe have a league in the evening. Boy, I think you can set up a beautiful bowling center revenue stream doing it that way.
Right, yeah. So this particular week here at Tenpins More, I took as much as 36,000 in week 33. The year before I ran it, the place took 14 grand. So we almost tripled the revenue by running this particular tournament. And
you were able to get sponsors to make the prize fund nice, and everybody wins. The center wins, the bowlers wins, the sponsors win, everybody gets involved.
Yeah.
So there's a little peek behind the curtain, everybody, inside baseball and the bowling business when you own a bowling center. But you definitely got to have leagues. I do love leagues.
Talking about the electricity, in 2014, my electricity for the year was 71,000. I changed to LED lighting. It cost me about 10 to convert everything over to LED lighting. This is a very bright bowling center, incidentally. I never liked dark bowling centers. Couldn't stand them. The moment I get a different center in my region, if I walked in and, you know, it was pitch black there, go out and spend $5,000, put some lights on in the joint.
Yeah.
And so that LED lighting got us down to about 60,000 a year. So here, the 24-lane centre, that's 60,000 every year just
Yeah.
for that. Insurance costs. That's another horrific thing.
So the moral of the story here, if you've been listening to Steve and I for this long, and if you're a bowler, go support your local bowling center and go out and do all you can. You know, plan a night to go eat at your local bowling center with your family. You know, even if you're not bowling that night. Yeah. Here you got some nice booths and everything here.
Yeah.
You know, of course Mike's place now, but I've been really impressed with everything here.
Yeah.
My first visit.
Well, any comments from anyone that
I think they're just tuning in. We got Andrew from Australia tuning in here.
Andrew who? Leonard?
Chisholm. No relation to Jazz Chisholm, I don't believe. Plays for the Yankees. Still waiting on our Game 4 standings. Those should be in shortly. I think Dennis is out gathering those right now. We'll have an update online. The standings are posted at the top of the chat room. On that pinned comment up there, so you can check the scores. After 3 games, it was plus 75 for Matt Zweig. He's our tournament leader. We are in game number 5. Don't forget, we'll have B Squad coming up tonight at 6 p.m. right here on Inside Bowling on YouTube.
The lanes get cleaned and oiled in between each squad, and of course from one day to the next, and that makes a little bit of it. It'll be interesting to see after the scores that we've had here what happens in the second squad today.
And to those of you that are tuning in right now that plan on bowling the event, you certainly get a clear idea of what you should be doing out there on the lanes. Lanes are transitioning quite a bit right now, but we're still seeing pretty good paths to the pocket here.
All right in front of us here on lane 21 and 22, we've got a turkey, a spare double, a spare turkey, and a Dutch going. So
Kevin Wilson is lining up where some players will be playing on lane 23 in some events.
Yes.
A little 5-7. That's that long oil.
Yeah, long oil, and that's we've seen a couple of them so far. Bob Dillman, member of a couple of Hall of Fames here in the state of New Mexico, a veteran. He was a paramedic on helicopters. Tough gig.
Very tough.
He's seen a few things.
I would imagine.
He probably doesn't want to remember. Story about the 5-7 split. Back in my heyday in the 60s and 70s, the pins in Australia were £3.10, £3.11, £3.12. And 5-7s were rife. And 3.5 boards left, and you can't miss. And I won a couple of $100 one night from a bunch of drunks that didn't think I could spare it more than 7 times out of 16. I spared it 14 out of 16. It was sweet. Loved it.
That's pretty cool. Little humble brag there. Carolyn Doran Ballard used to be automatic on television making that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like sparing a 5-pin. You know what you're doing. 3.5 boards. Can't miss. Well, let's see what Kevin does. This time he just had the split.
Sticky 7. Somebody was asking about the lane pattern. I'll pop it back up. It's been a little while. 47 feet in length, almost 2-to-1 ratio. Just a little under. 35 milliliters of oil. There's 7 2-to-2 loads on this pattern, and yes, there's 2-to-2s added at the end of the pattern. That's called a speed bump or just a way to widen the pattern, which makes it harder to swing the ball. We started at 1 today, and it is 3:43. 2 hours and 43 minutes. So it'll take about 3 hours to get through 5 games. So about 3.5 hour squad or so.
Good. Plenty of time to clean up for the next one.
Tonight's might be a little bit longer though, because I think we got 3 to a lane. That was a good shot. I love the speed on that one. You don't want to throw it too hard on this pattern.
No.
Man, more 7-10s. We've seen a bunch of them. A lot of 7-10s here.
Yeah. Long oil. Whoops.
You saw that right off his hand.
Yeah.
Game 4 scores are in. Let me make sure I can display them properly here. Looks like I can. I'm going to refresh over here so I can see a little bit better on my browser. And Chase Nadeau goes to the lead. He's plus 98. 227, 237, 203, and 231. And remember, if you lead this squad, you're automatically in the bracket come Sunday. Andy Byers plus 44. Matt Zweig is at plus 31. 3 players plus on this squad.
Well, three players disappeared in that game.
Yeah. Yep. Scores went down that game overall.
Yeah.
Minus 11 is Eileen Linares. Is it Linares? Is that how you say that?
Linares.
Linares.
Yeah.
Okay. Minus 11, and Cristobal Quintana and Morgan Robinson are minus 30 each. Steve Schultz, minus 35. Scott Wiley, minus 36. Benjamin Heckroth, minus 37. And Antonio Lopez round out your top 10 at minus 43.
And Antonio Lopez, have a look at his first game, 125.
Yeah, he's thinking to himself,
that 170, and he's...
Yeah, I know. He's right there.
And he wouldn't be happy with a 170 either.
If anybody knows Antonio out there and wants to get a message to him, if he wasn't planning on re-entering the tournament and would like a backer, he can come up and reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to get involved in something like that. I think Steve might as well. Maybe I'll back you in the tournament, Steve. I'll put you in here.
Oh.
What do you think?
I don't think I can bowl 6 games anymore.
Okay.
With arthritis and whatnot. 4 is about my bailiwick.
Again, if you're just tuning in, my name is Mike Flanagan from Inside Bowling. First year streaming the New Mexico Open. We're happy to be here. Emil is actually going to be streaming on Bowlstream TV this weekend at the 11thframe.com Open, Jeff Riggle's event. He's filling in for me there, and since we got involved in this event here with running it as well, that's why we made the pivot to come over here. But certainly do hope that Jeff and Joe Engelkiss and everybody with the Greater Iowa Bowling Association has a great event this upcoming weekend. And make sure you tune in and support that stream as well. Obviously, everybody has multiple devices nowadays, so make sure you tune into both.
And I think they've got a full field up there with a wait list.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think his full field is 156.
Yeah.
So that's a big success every year up there.
Yeah, they do good. They do good. A lot of drivable towns to get there. Spare 5-bagger.
One of the other events on this weekend, other than all the regionals around the traps, is the military tournament in Las Vegas. And,
yep.
A lot of our regular bowlers in this event are bowling over there this year. Well, let's see what happens here. We've got a 4-bagger for Brandon Brown. Has he got anything over there?
Brandon Brown, let's see. He is second from the bottom.
Oh, goodness.
He's had a rough
He's
day.
on a 5-bagger.
But bowled 187 the last game, which was quite an improvement after his horrific start. He probably just moved his feet to the right, softened up his speed. Look at this.
And that's a 6-bagger.
That's outstanding.
And he's wearing a mask.
That's called never giving up.
Who is that masked man?
Yeah.
Yeah, never give up. Not in this or any other event. Sometimes people try too hard. I was not a great qualifier in Australia, but if I made the cut, I was kind of annoying to the rest of the field. He's moved in a little bit, Jacob, and carried a light swisher. Aileen Linares, another light hit over there on lane 20. She's coming this way. Get a couple of good looks at her. This squad bowling on the higher end of the house.
Yeah, because of league that's going to be bowling tonight, I was told these were the lanes that will be in place this evening, so that's why I set up shop here. I know typically the lanes that are streamed are down on the low end.
7 and 8's typically been the championship pair. We had 19 and 20 one year, and so 7 and 8 now. 8 is typically tighter than 7, a couple of boards. And that's often proved problematic for the finalists. Well, that guy's going to pick up 40-odd pins from his second last place in this squad. Huh. Amazing. What a difference about 10 boards on the approach makes.
Sure does. If you're just tuning in, this broadcast is in 4K. So if you're watching on a device and you're not watching in 4K, click the little gear down below and you can change your broadcast to be watching this in crystal clear 4K at 60 frames per second.
Oh, goodness. That sort of counts after a strike and a fill ball, you know. My encouragement to you here, if you're going to be bowling one of the next 6 squads in this qualifying round, do not fiddle around on the bonus ball. The cut is going to be real close. It always is. Doesn't matter if it's going to be 47 over or 20 under or whatever. And you don't want to get a 5 count on the fill.
Tom Hess says the same thing. Always try to get as many as you can on the fill over the course of a tournament. That'll come back to really help you.
Yeah.
Tell you what, these guys have figured out a nice little path to the pocket here on 21 and 22.
Yes.
It just goes to show, just don't ever give up. Get yourself in a right spot. You know, you look at Brandon, who bowled, 133, 113, 139, 187, and now he's looking like King Kong, can bowl in the 260s.
Yeah.
Definitely will make you want to re-enter the event.
Yes. I think they're out of the transition blues unless they're still in the wrong place.
Take a quick peek over here as well.
Someone's got a string over there on 17 and 18.
Yeah, and Eileen, here we go. The song is Come On Eileen. How about Come On Aileen?
Yeah.
Right? That'd be nice.
Come on. Come on. You're talking about playing the birthday song. I used to sing Happy Birthday to the kids on Saturday afternoons.
So you were like
Yeah.
Bob Farrell from Farrell's Ice Cream Parlors.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that Give 'em the Pickle video?
No.
Customer service training video?
No.
I'm surprised.
Oh, the pickles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
yep.
heard it. Yes.
Yeah. I tell you, going cross lane with that much oil that far down the lane, it is very easy for you to throw cross lane and miss the spare to the right because of all the oil.
Yeah. Yes.
Very easy.
When is your birthday?
September 5th, coming up, right around the corner.
Happy birthday to you.
That's it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mike.
That's right. I'm gonna clip that off and play it to myself all day on
God.
September 5th.
You're a sick man.
I am sick.
You need a real job. Do that.
A real job.
Well, let's see. Joseph is doing pretty well. Yeah, you should kick it. Yep. He's a good guy. Love Joseph. Love Point. He's real good. Real good value.
Kyle Duster here. He started out strong with 223, then 201, 169, 143. Looking to get back on it here. Can still bowl 211. Just didn't see it.
Didn't quite make the turn. 212 for Kevin in front of us. Lauren Armio, heck of a bowler too. She's the ball driller on lane 18 from Silver Lanes here in Albuquerque. Great bowling family. Eddie Herrera lives just a few miles from this bowling centre. A lot of league bowlers from Tenpins and More in this squad. Scott Wiley. Scott was running a pro shop up in Colorado Springs and ended up moving back down here. Lives in Corrales. If you get a chance, you probably won't, but you may tomorrow night get a chance and go down to Corrales. It's they call it the village of Corrales. It's like you're in another world. It's another country.
Okay, I might.
Just down the hill from here, 3 or 4 miles away.
Might do that indeed.
Yeah, great eating places, some good bar scene and music on Friday nights, Saturday nights. He would have liked one there, that's for sure. Could have got him a 188. Now he's in the 160s again, Jacob. He won't be happy with his score, and I bet he bowls again.
Brandon loves the 256 out there. Gotta love that 256 out of Brandon Brown. Let us know at home. What do you like better? Do you like this shot right here, to where we're kind of zoomed in on everybody, or do you prefer a little bit further out like this, where you can see more of the approach?
A little bit further out, I think.
That's kind of my default, but I've been kind of zooming in here a little bit, just kind of feeling my way around the 4K broadcast.
Trent Irwin here in the ball cap, the yellow shirt, probably one of the most diligent practice bowlers other than me that I've ever met in my life. Loves to bowl. I think Kyle Duster was working at North Rock Lanes a few years ago when the guy from England won the US Open.
Dom
Barrett, yeah. I was up there. Dana was up there for a meeting, and they gave us a seat right behind the TV pair.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was a very exciting step ladder. And Kyle was a lane attendant at North Rock Lanes.
All right, everybody. Well, that's just about going to wrap up game number 5. We'll have game 6 coming up for you here in just a moment at the New Mexico Open here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, suburb of Albuquerque, here at Tenpins More. My name is Mike Flanagan. We've been kicking it here with Steve Mackey. I've really enjoyed our time here. As soon as we're done with this game, I'm actually going to get up and stretch my legs, so it'll be a good opportunity for you to be able to watch the rest of the tournament. If you're around all weekend, I'd love to have you come sit in some more again with me.
Well, Joseph's going to shoot 180 something.
Had a question here about the pattern again. I know from time to time people come in and go out. This is the pattern right here. It's very flat, almost 2 to 1. 7 2-2s, 47 feet in length, but people are playing out and having the most success playing out.
Yeah, and way out. Chase and Andy Barr, Matt Zweig, all of them. And Aileen, the top 4, all way out. Kyle Duster there just bowled his 3rd ball on the wrong lane in the 10th frame. I thought, what the heck is he doing over on lane 17? So a nice way to get 1 free practice shot.
Yeah, sure is.
Try something else. Linares back in the small 200s. And a good spare for Eddie Herrera. His hairstyle, you remember Cousin Eddie?
Yeah, Cousin Eddie.
The Munsters. That's my nickname for him, Cousin Eddie. Well, Aileen looking for a double here. No.
She's been steady today, though. 215, 211, 208. Had that hiccup last game, 155. Going to be right back at it.
Very touchy. This is a good tournament condition. Mike would be proud, Mike Miller. .203 for Linares, so back to -8.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Now, will we see Mike come through here this weekend, you think?
I'm not sure.
I'd like to see him come by. I'd like to say hello. Never met Mike face to face either.
Well, let's see what Brandon does this time. Yeah, that's the trouble with this long pattern. You think it's going to make the turn and it just decides to lose power.
Yep,
lots of buckets.
Got Zweig coming back in. Steve, I am gonna get up and stretch my legs for a second and walk away for a few minutes before I finish this thing out. I want to thank you for tuning in and joining me here in the booth. I've really enjoyed the last few games with you, and hopefully we get an opportunity to do so again before the event's over.
Okay, no worries.
All right, everybody, we're going to step away for a second. I'll be back here in a couple of frames, and we'll be back with the conclusion of A Squad qualifying here from the 2025 New Mexico Open. All right, folks, continuing on coverage here, New Mexico Open 2025, presented by Brunswick. My name is Mike Flanagan. We're just finishing out A Squad qualifying. 6 games for you here on the A Squad. Don't forget, we got B Squad coming up at 6 p.m. Mountain Time this evening, as we are in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Rio Rancho, to be exact. 21st edition, presented by Brunswick. If you're looking for a new bowling ball bag, shoes, whatever it may be, check out brunswickbowling.com and their family of brands. Also want to thank our friends at Shamrock Foods, Jani King, Western Bowling Proprietors, Insurance, Tenpins More, and of course us at Inside Bowling. You can get t-shirts this week for $19 over on our website at insidebowling.com. And if you're watching this broadcast archived later, you can always save 15% off apparel with coupon code YouTube. That's year-round over at Inside Bowling. Pattern is 47 feet in length, 35 milliliters of oil. Using fire oil here. Got 7 2-2s out on the lanes. It's a 1.81 to 1 symmetrical bowling pattern, and you can play the outside part of the lane. Is where most of the score is coming from. Through 4 games, 3 players were plus out of a 27-person field. Tonight we can take 24 bowlers. We got 23 right now. We anticipate getting the 24th. We'll have 3 on a lane tonight. We'll be using just these pairs. You'll be able to watch every single bowling ball go down the lane in all of competition. Game number 5 just being completed. Dennis is entering scores here momentarily, and we'll be having an update for you through 5 games here in just a moment. Shout out to Dennis Acker, our tournament director, also USBC president, a good friend of mine that I've known for a very long period of time. He's been on our airwaves on Inside Bowling dating all the way back to 2011. It's great to be out here with my friend Dennis, putting on this event. Here is an Inside Bowling event, the New Mexico Open. Want to give a shout out also to the entire staff here at Tenpins More, our GM Rob, and of course Mike Fagan, the new proprietor here, for asking us to come out and be part of this year's event. See, we've got Zweig, logging into our tournament software here real quick, just checking something out. Got Zweig, Heckroth, and Salazar here. And just to their right, we got Wiley and Duster, Irwin, and Yaramillo. Scooter coming to the Pro-Am. Awesome. Got a lot of great players that you'll see here on the live stream over the course of the weekend, led by Anthony Simonson and our 2-year defending champ, Francois Lavoie. Scores are still coming in after the last game. Since I have those for you, I'll update it for you. We've got Kyle Duster here with the spare triple. Looking for 4 in a row, playing up the lane. Nice little crossover hit there. I'll take it for a double. How about that? That's one thing about this pattern. It is a little forgiving if you miss left. You're still going to hit the head pin, and hitting the head pin, you have a chance to strike still. I know it's not ideal to go Brooklyn, but so I just airmailed that one a little bit too much. If you'd like to chat with us, don't forget you can do so by subscribing to our channel, and that'll let you interact with us in our chat room. Chat is reserved for subs only. We've also had a lot of folks picking up some merch today, all the orders that have come in. We certainly do appreciate that. It does help support our business. Our next stream will start up in about an hour and 40 minutes, 6 p.m. We started at 1 today, about a 3.5-hour stream. Tonight will be a bit longer because we will have 3 on a lane. I'll blow backup ball there from Kyle, trying something different. At this point, you can use, if you don't think you're going to make the cut, you can use this, it's good practice for a re-entry later. Don't forget, whoever leads this squad will get an automatic berth into the bracket. See Chase Nadeau over there on 16. He's plus 64 after 5. I'm still waiting for 2 more scores to come in, and then I'll show you the scores. But I can tell you that Nadeau is plus 64. Zweig is plus 39. Andy Beyer is plus 19. Aileen Linares, she is minus 8 after 4 games. That's with a 155 game. All her other games have been very steady and over 200. Antonio Lopez at minus 29. And Cristobal Quintana at minus 37, along with Benjamin Heckroth. And now the scores are in, and I will share them with you on our screensies. Although I do have to crop it a little bit differently now. And let's just go with this. How about that? Here's our scores, everybody. Nadeau plus 64, Zweig plus 39. The best Zweig can do here is 163, so he's going to get back. He's going to go back to about even. Andy Beyer plus 19. And as I mentioned, Aileen at minus 8, minus 29 for Antonio. Cristobal minus 37, along with Benjamin Heckroth. Rounding out your top 10, we got a tie in 8th at minus 40 between Scott Wiley and Morgan Robinson, and then 10th is Steve Schultz at minus 50. Very low scoring. Very, very low scoring. See Dennis Hacker down there, tournament director. Shout out to Dennis for coming out and being part of this one with me. I called him, I said, look, man, need somebody to come out here with me. And in typical Dennis fashion, he said, I'm there, dude. Just make sure we can do this and we're good. Good to go. So 27 players on this squad. We should have 24 tonight. That'll take us to 51 entries. Might be a re-entry or two, so we'll be around 50 entries going into Friday. That's a great start to this event. Again, if we end up with 89 well, we're going to end up with more than 89. If we have under 108 unique entries, we're only going to do a 24-man bracket. If we have under 124 entries, we're going to do a 28-man bracket. And if we have 124 or more entries, we will go to that 32-man bracket, as you're used to seeing here at this event. Good seeing you, brother. Also, if you're just tuning in, this is our first broadcast ever in 4K high definition. I encourage you to click the gear button down below and click on the 2160 4K at 60 frames per second. And you can watch this broadcast. First bowling broadcast I've been part of that's in 4K. And it's thanks to our friends at Sony. If it wasn't for Sony, this would not be possible. They are letting me use this gear so that we can bring you the very best streaming quality that we possibly can. And then I'll be having follow-up conversations with Sony on whether or not they think this is the best way to present bowling, or if they want to send me some other gear to try, or if we lock in with this and work out an arrangement to where I can acquire some of this equipment. Tremendous opportunity, and again, I can't thank those folks at Sony that recognize creators and what we do here on Inside Bowling. I've been doing for quite a while as we get ready to celebrate 100,000 subscribers. When will that happen? Sometime probably in the next month. If you want to help make it happen and you're not subscribed to the channel already, it's very easy to do so. You click one button on your screen. First New Mexico Open where the pattern is actually shared and it's still difficult. Yep, that's right. Look, the secretive pattern stuff is all fine and dandy, and I don't have any problems with that at all. I do kind of sort of think it's cool to post a pattern, though, ahead of time, especially for those that have to fly in. You're limited to how many bowling balls you can bring. And I don't necessarily think that if somebody decides they want to come bowl this event and support it from Florida, and they see a pattern and it can help them shape what 6 balls to bring or 8 balls or whatever with flying, and as much as that costs to be able to get bowling balls here, I think just giving everybody a little bit of a heads up. Hey, they're going to be really hard, and here's kind of an idea for what balls to bring. I see it both ways, but kind of the way things are for this year. So we want to build this. We want to draw from a lot of different areas, and I think that's just one small thing that is, you know, gives people, I think people have an excuse. Oh, I'm not going to go because I have no idea what's going to be out there. I don't even know if I'm going to bring the right equipment. Well, now that excuse is out the window. Now you get to come bowl. And with it starting on Thursday, you can watch a live stream on Thursday, and when you fly out on Friday to come bowl for the weekend, you already have an idea of what equipment you should bring. I think it's kind of nice, actually. Some people would say it's giving away too much information, but to each their own, right? We can agree to disagree. We can all be happy still. Finishing things out here on these two pairs. Shout out to Lauren Yarmilio. Yarmio, I think is how you say that. Decent last game there. And we will, looks like we're going to finish out over here on 21 through 24. Overall, pretty happy with our stream in 4K the entire round at 20 megs. Did not drop one time. I don't want to jinx things, but what an outstanding start to 4K coverage. Shout out to the internet provider here, the ISP here at Tenpins More. This weekend, I'll be joined by the great Jim Callahan. I believe Jimmy will be by tonight for some commentary with me. I told him, get here whenever you want to get here. I just want to make sure you're here for sure for Saturday and Sunday. And he goes, you know what, I'm going to drive out Thursday. So, Jimmy, if you're listening and you're on your way, safe travels. See you soon. The Pro-Am is Friday night. I'm not streaming the Pro-Am, by the way, guys. I'm not streaming the Pro-Am. Sorry. I might be moving the camera setup Friday night. I'm not sure yet, but might be moving the camera setup. I don't know if we're going to stay here the entire weekend or not. Got to get with Dennis on what lanes we're going to be using later in the tournament. We certainly can shake it out to where it's down on this end, but we will see. Been really impressed with Aileen. She's a good bowler. Never really covered her before, but Steve was telling me she's a really solid player. Loves to play the outside part of the lane, so rooting for Aileen. If she re-enters, I would love to see her make the top bracket. I know.
Okay.
I like this in the chat. Shout out to Cristobal Quintana. He worked up here in Iowa City at Cornell Lanes. Got some good pro shop experience. Hope the score holds up for him. Very nice, coming in from Derek Hine. Yeah, AK 252. Steve was in the booth with me for 3 games during this stream. I encourage you to go back and rewatch it. Just a reminder of our schedule. Oh, I guess I should move that up a little bit. Blame it on the graphics guy in the truck. That's me. There we go. A squad just being completed. We've got one frame left here. Scores will be updated on that link. Make sure you bookmark that for the weekend. A squad complete. We'll be back at 6 o'clock Mountain Time for B squad. Back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for C squad. D squad starts at 2. And then we come back Saturday at 8 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. Hopefully you've enjoyed this broadcast here today on Inside Bowling, only on YouTube. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody that helped make this tournament possible. The 21st edition, 2025 New Mexico Open in Tenpins More in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. My name is Mike Flanagan. This event has been brought to you by Brunswick. Looking for a new bowling ball bag, shoes, or accessory, make sure you check out brunswickbowling.com. And a shout out to our other sponsors, Shamrock Foods, Jani King, Western Bowling, Proprietors Insurance, Tenpins More, and us here at Inside Bowling, where you can pick up $19 t-shirts, all t-shirts on sale, $19 only this weekend on Inside Bowling. 47-foot pattern and length was very difficult, very demanding today, and will continue to be throughout the rest of the event. Scores are already being updated at that link for game number 6 as the scores come in. Zweig and Nadu scores have not come in yet, but they will be here shortly. If you're thinking about coming and bowling, you definitely should. We'd love to see you come out and participate in this year's event. Not real sure what we're waiting on here for the final balls. I don't know if we're waiting on a ball or what's going on here. T. Holtz, go up and say hello to Emil. Emil's fantastic. Well, I don't know if I'm ever going to get a bowler finish here. Are we waiting on something here? Aileen waiting on a ball, maybe? Could be. Yep, that's the problem. Aileen has bowled really well today. 215, 211, 208, had the 155 game, but then bowled 203 and can still bowl 212 this game. That's some grinding. It was worth the wait. How about that? Going to be in the 2-0s now with at least an 8 count here. And with this ball, that's going to conclude A squad qualifying here from the 2025 New Mexico Open. Little Chopsky on the spare. Thank you all for being here. Scores will be updated at that link up above. As soon as they come in, they'll be double checked. And we'll be back here in an hour and 22 minutes with B squad qualifying here from New Mexico. You've been watching it in 4K HD right here on YouTube/Inside Bowling, our Inside Bowling channel. Approaching 100,000 subscribers. Cannot wait to hit that threshold. It's because of you, and all of you is the reason why we've been able to accumulate that number. See you in an hour and 20, everybody. It's been real. See you from the New Mexico Open here momentarily.